Harbor, Michigan this afternoon to speak at a union training center highlighting the president's Investing in America agenda. It's all part of a series of trips that the president will make over the next few weeks in battleground states, the White House events and not campaign stops after President Biden dropped out of the race in July.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Vice President Kamala Harris is spending several days in Pennsylvania prepping for her first debate with Trump next week. Fox News Radio will provide live coverage and a simulcast of that ABC presidential debate Tuesday night, beginning at 8 Eastern. Just getting word that Sergio Mendes has died, the Grammy-winning Brazilian musician and songwriter best known for the global hit Mas Que Nada. His family confirming he died yesterday after battling the effects of long COVID for months. Sergio Mendes was 83. America is listening to Fox News.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It's been a hot afternoon with moderate humidity, and temperatures will drop back into the upper 80s this evening. It's warm overnight, 68 for the low. Maybe a spot thunderstorm towards morning. Friday, a spot early thunderstorm. That's the cool front coming by. Swinging winds to the northwest. Partly sunny and breezy, 81. Friday night, clear, breezy, 55. Saturday, sunny and 74. Sunday, sunny and 77. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some Frank's Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome into the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. Another good Friday. It's a beautiful Friday out there. I think that September might be the best weather month. Am I wrong? Maybe March or April.
This is a controversial topic. I'm going to go on record and say that I love the weather in September, though.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
There's a really big day coming up here for the Annie Fry Show. Really, really important birthday. We've been making a lot of plans to celebrate, and I think that we're all pretty much ready. It's important to acknowledge these days and to, wouldn't you say, Ryan, really go all out?
I would say yeah, depending on whose birthday it is, but yes.
Yeah, Ethan's birthday is on September 12th. It's coming up here, and we're really looking forward to showering him with the praise he deserves, wouldn't you say?
That's why I had to kind of, couch my enthusiasm, because I figured there was a twist coming.
What? His birthday's the 12th.
I know it's the 12th. I get the company emails.
I feel so loved right now.
We've been, you and I, spending a lot of money. You got to Venmo me.
Okay. Did you get a bouquet?
A what?
A bouquet?
That's not right.
Well, did you get him flowers?
No.
For his birthday?
Ethan doesn't want flowers.
You can't tell me I'm here, guys.
Yeah.
You can't talk about this in front of me.
We were giving him cash. I was just waiting on you to send me the money.
Oh, that's kind of boring.
Is it boring? No cash, Ethan?
Listen, I'm a boring guy, okay? So
I like it. Your birthday's the 12th, and Ryan's birthday's the 16th. So we've got some September birthdays coming up. My anniversary is the 15th. So we've got quite a few celebrations here in the span of like 4 days.
Can I tell you something?
No.
Oh, God.
This morning, Hannah Gibbs came to me and was just catching up. We hadn't talked in a week or two.
Sweet, lovable
Hannah Gibbs.
Yes, you can listen to her on the Y98 Morning Show.
Y98 now.
She does the same stuff there that she did here.
It's the exact same. Talks about Eric Schmidt all day. But
Ron DeSantis.
It's a little bit of a departure for them, but apparently it's going very well.
It's really part of our missionary work that we do here in middays on 97.1.
We are, yep. Doggone, I'm going to take that pitch. So Hannah was talking with me this morning, and she said, I know your birthday's coming up, because she's on the birthday committee here at Odyssey St. Louis. And I said, good to know, because, Ethan,
she has a professional obligation to know.
You may not know this, but here at Odyssey St. Louis, we have a little birthday gift that we get from the company.
Well, full-time people have a birthday gift that they get.
Oh,
My apology. I thought it was everybody.
Nope. That's why Ryan was doubling the cash that's going to go into your birthday card.
That's right. Yeah.
Think of me like that.
But she said, hey, Ryan, I know your birthday's coming up, and we're all super excited about it, and I was glad to hear that. And then she said, isn't your birthday somehow associated with Annie's anniversary? And I said, yes. I don't think so. Why?
The day before.
But it is. It's the day before. I completely forgot that.
Mine comes first because it's more important.
Yeah. No. Mine came first.
Yeah.
Mine came way before your anniversary.
And then Ethan's birthday is even more important.
Yeah.
Which is why we're going to pull out all the stops.
Yeah. What you're saying is Jesus' birthday is the least important.
No, that's the calendar year, the beginning of the calendar year, Advent. We go by the church year.
No.
Anywho, the YouTube live chat poll for today: do you fly an American flag outside of your home? Yes or no? Is there if you pull into someone's driveway and they have a flag outside their house, do you know something about those people?
Yes.
Is it an active political statement to put the stars and stripes out in front of your house?
Yes, it is. It shouldn't be. And I think that you can be a Democrat and fly it and not be saying the same thing as we're saying, but you just don't see that. So it's on you, Democrats. Fly flags more. It's your fault.
Yeah, that.
That's the poll. So if you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, you can vote there. We're going to take calls in the next segment. So in about 15 minutes from now, we're going to answer some of your phone calls. And this is what we're going to do. You can either comment on the poll question, which is about flying an American flag outside your house. Do you? And does that mean something politically? But the other thing that we're going to try to do is take your phone calls, and you are only allowed to say positive things about the candidate you support. And if you, do we have like a buzzer sound over there or something?
Oh, I'm sure I can come up with something.
Just see what you like a.
You said something negative.
If you say something, if you are talking positively about your candidate, and then you start to talk negatively about the other one, and
Nice.
I hang up on you.
That's great.
Then we go to the next caller.
Okay. This is going to be, see, I think this is going to be a little more difficult than it seems. So it is a bit of a challenge to you if you're listening. Can you call in and just stay positive about your candidate? It doesn't have to be like personal, things you like about their candidacy.
And you could call in and say positive things about Kamala Harris's economic plan. And that works.
Yes, you can. You can do that.
I won't agree and I won't argue with you per se. I might ask you some questions to elaborate on what you're discussing on both sides, but you can't call in and tell me how great Donald Trump is because he doesn't have a obnoxious cackle laugh like Kamala. Then if you say something like that, then automatically we will dump you and you be gone.
Okay. So you can't get clever and be like, you know what I like about Donald Trump? He's not an idiot or something like that.
So Ethan's got he has the buzzer. The buzzer is his. And if he, as the objective official here, decides, nope, that was a negative shot, if he hits that buzzer, then we have to hang up on you and take the next call. 314-241-9797. If you want to get in line to have those conversations, if we have a few people, we might take some before we go to break, but we're going to do that in the next segment. Call in and advocate for your candidate without talking smack on the other one. Let's see if it can be done. 314-241-9797. Might try to get a couple in before this break, but definitely in the next segment. Do you think that do you think that there are things that Kamala Harris offers to people who want to vote for her that can be articulated without talking smack on Trump? I think the easy thing to do is talk smack on Trump, but I don't think that people are often pushed to try to do the alternative.
As a thought experiment, I'm sitting here trying to think of what I would say about Kamala, and not as a conservative, but as a Democrat, what I would say about Kamala that I like, and most of it is superficial. Now, I'm not saying that has to be the case for you if you call in. That's what comes to mind as the talking points that I hear as a conservative people tell me that they like about Kamala.
Would it be easier to do for Joe Biden than for Kamala, in your opinion, Ryan?
No.
Okay.
I think we're dealing with pretty much the same thing. A lot of the same people. I mean, literally the same people went from Joe Biden's campaign / administration to Kamala's. So I think we're pretty much dealing with the same policies. But again, that's why this is an interesting experiment. And it doesn't mean you can't call in and not say things superficial. You can. We're not saying you can't do that. We're just saying you can't say negative things.
So, I mean, the challenge is going to be, and it's quick. You're basically trying to create a 30-second, 60-second positive. I wish we could get some like flowery music to play under these. Maybe for the next segment, is that too quick of a turnaround?
See if I can do that quick.
Just something, the part of the campaign ad where you are seeing the full color pictures in the golden retrievers. That's the part. We're gonna skip the negative part where everything is in black and white and it's the most unflattering picture of your opponent, the opponent that you don't really want to win, that you could possibly find. That's what we'll do. We got a couple people calling in here, so I'm going to get to that phone call here in just a second. I do want to report that the judge in the New York criminal trial, the one where Donald Trump became a convicted felon, that political investment, in-kind donation, sentencing has been delayed to November 26th, which you will note is after Election Day. We may not know who the winner is by then.
Oh, wow. That's big news.
That's happening right now. Will you pull up the TV right now? Jonathan Turley is talking with Fox News right now. Let's just listen to what he has to say.
It's not signaling this opinion. The decision is not surprising in two respects. One is it was always controversial to have the sentencing before the election, and the judge clearly did not feel comfortable that he was ready to do so. But the second reason is the reason for that discomfort. The Supreme Court decision presented some very serious questions about this trial. And the judge knew he would be subject to an appellate review. It's clear that parts of the trial did run afoul of the Supreme Court decision. He allowed testimony of people like Hope Hicks to be entered, and that clearly fell within the privileged aspect of the immunity decision. So he has to essentially get this cat to walk backwards. He has got to try to find a way that that evidence could be excluded, but the ultimate outcome be accepted. That's not as easy as people suggest, and he's got to create a record for that can withstand appellate review. So I think that the judge here is following the most cautious possible approach to say, let's hold off. It'll give me more time to look at the implications of this, and let's proceed after the election.
So in terms of proceeding after the election, it looks like the new sentencing date is set for November the 26th. But let's not forget, Professor, that just before then, on November the 12th, which is 7 days after the election, the judge is going to make a decision on a motion to vacate the conviction because of the Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity. So do you think that date, that November 12th date, also played into Merchan's decision here?
I think it does. I think that all of this is being weighed together. I think that he believes that he can deal with the full range of issues here in terms of the sentencing issues, but also the continued viability of the conviction itself in November. I think all of those things, they're insular questions, but they're related to some extent. And the fact is that the judge said earlier, sentencing if necessary, reflected the fact that he understands that there might not be any sentencing because there might not be any conviction. He decides that the evidence in the trial corrupted the outcome. Now, many people are betting he will not reach that conclusion, but then he has to say why it did not corrupt the outcome, why it didn't taint the verdict. Hope Hicks and some of the evidence coming out of the White House at the trial must have had an impact on that jury. And she gave this very tearful testimony that received a lot of attention. And the prosecutors made reference to it in their closing argument. So you can't really separate these issues. I think that Merchan is giving himself a little bit of cushion of time. So he will make sure that when he issues all of these rulings, he's ready for an appellate review.
Jonathan Turley speaking on Fox News, reacting to this breaking news that Judge Merchan has delayed Donald Trump's New York criminal trial sentencing to November 26th after Election Day, which means no, it won't be on, I think it was September 18th might have been the date that was originally scheduled for sentencing, would have been dramatically impactful to the election cycle, punted it past the election. So now we wait and see what happens come November 5th. We're going to take a quick break. We've got Kathy, Dirk, and Rich in line, ready to give us positive review. Up.net. Oh, man, big clearance sale going on right now at the Diamond Shop. Have you checked it out yet? You want to make sure that you visit. It's through September 21st, so it's not actually a month. You need to get there this weekend and check out this annual clearance sale with up to 70% off some beautiful pieces for you, for your loved one. When you visit them in Clayton, Missouri, they've been there for quite some time. They've been in St. Louis since 1910. That's a pretty long time. They have built a generationally supported business, and you should check them out. Maybe for the first time, maybe you've been there before. It's time you go visit again. That clearance sale happening through the 21st, up to 70% off your in-stock jewelry there that they have marked for that great sale. They also have, let me check the date. This one ends on the 8th, so you can hurry up for a custom sale, 50% off all loose color stones. You can create your own unique piece of jewelry and save 50% on those loose color stones with your custom project done by the Diamond Shop. I own a custom necklace from them, and I absolutely love it. Become a VIP online. You can find out all the details at thediamondshop.net.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh,
don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you've been dragging your feet waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your debt, start an overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call at 314-336-6050. Interest rates have come down and home values are up. I'm here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your first home, your dream home, or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I will give you straightforward answers and develop a plan that fits your goals. My direct number is 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage, LLC, 224143, NMLS 250353.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for New Perspective Senior Living in Weldon Spring. New Perspective is just opening. I had the chance to take a tour and meet the staff. I got to tell you, this place is amazing. They offer state-of-the-art independent or assisted living, as well as memory care. Imagine your loved one enjoying delicious meals, activities, entertainment, and even an AI fall detection system. New Perspective Senior Living of Weldon Spring is redefining senior living. Visit npseniorliving.com to schedule a tour today. That's npseniorliving.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Cox Morning Show is live in Eureka this Wednesday in support of the Focus Marines Foundation. Go to 971talk.com/events to find out more. We're looking forward to seeing you at Chicken Ellie's in Eureka this Wednesday, live with the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Caught my heart about 1-2 times. Don't need to question the reason I'm yours. I'm yours.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
So what a man gotta do? What a man gotta do?
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. As you heard, we've got the phone lines open right now, 314-241-9797. And here's your task, should you choose to accept it. You got to call in the show. You can do one of two things. You can answer our YouTube live chat poll on the air with us. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home, yes or no? And we want to know why. And the other thing you can do is call in and give a positive review of your candidate of choice, but you are not allowed to say anything negative about the other candidate. If you do say something negative, we hang up on you.
How optimistic are you in the people, Annie, that they can do this?
I really think that they can. I don't know if they want to. We'll see.
I'm not optimistic at all.
You don't think people can do it?
No. See, I was giving you an opportunity to buzz me there. There. Okay. Thanks.
I'm good at those things.
Give us, so we've got some music here. Give us an example. We're like throwing Ethan into the production.
Like, let's go.
Fire.
Bring it on.
I love it. you are going to give us an example of what this might sound like.
Yeah. So I believe that the reason to vote for Kamala Harris is that she has been an absolute stalwart on the border. I love what she has done in the last 4 years. I'm not even going to call her border czar. That's a right-wing talking point.
That is negative.
Oh, doggone it.
So now I have to hang up on Ryan Wiggins.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got some music to help you
music's
along,
brilliant.
to make you feel like you're going to fall asleep at a spa.
Yeah.
Ryan spent the last 72 seconds trying to find us some
It's
music.
surprisingly difficult.
Yeah, 314-241-9797. Can you talk about your candidate in 60 seconds in only positive terms without insulting the other person?
Yes.
I hope we get people who can do who make the attempt for both sides.
I do too.
We can have a love fest for Donald Trump here. We'll try something different. But we will, as long as you're being positive, you get to stay on. You get 60 seconds. And we've got people lined up here to start the process. 314-241-9797. 2 lines open right now if you'd like to join us. Kathy gets to go first. Kathy, you got something positive to say about your candidate of choice. This is so funny.
Hello?
Yeah, Kathy.
Kathy.
Do you want to give a positive endorsement? What do you got?
Okay. President Trump, when he first started back in 2015 or 16, whatever it was, he just, when he would talk, everything he said are things I have said.
Yeah.
And so I never had a politician in my life actually make sense until he came down that
He sees
pipe.
you.
Yeah.
He sees you.
He gets you. Do you think, Kathy, that even though Donald Trump is a bazillionaire, that he understands what Midwesterners like you and me are dealing with right now with the economy?
Yes, I do, because when he went to work for his father started him at the bottom. He was cleaning toilets when he was a teenager. He understands the value of a dollar.
Kathy, that was such a great phone call. This music is making me laugh, but that was a really nice endorsement of Donald Trump. Thank you for calling the show.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
job.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go.
People are going to feel so chill at the end of the show.
Yeah.
They'll be sleeping with their radios on. That can't be bad.
But they'll feel good about
No, not at all.
maybe both candidates.
Yeah. Wait a second. All right, 314-241-9797. Let's see if we can do this again. Dirk is on the line. Dirk, let's hear your positive thoughts on your candidate of choice.
Oh, of course. Caller Dirk.
Yes, you got it. Take it away.
Awesome. Happy to be here. Yeah, Donald Trump is spectacular. I like how he handles foreign policy. I like his economic plan. He handles the border magnificently. Now, in his competition, Kamala Harris, she has a wonderful concept of the English language and how she's able to talk a lot and not really say anything. It's magnificent
wait a
how
minute.
she does it.
I think that turned negative.
That was positive.
We
See,
gotta let him go, Dirk.
we didn't account for sarcasm.
I know, but when
That's
he
gonna be
said
tough.
she can speak a lot, but she doesn't really say anything.
Then we knew. We
I
knew
think
you
we know.
crossed the line.
We might know Dirk from the chat.
Okay.
Dirk is great.
Okay.
Dirk, we're not disagreeing with you. It's just not
No.
what we're going for.
No,
right now.
there's an assignment. We got to stick to it.
Next week we'll call and we'll say you only get to complain about the other one.
Only negative
Call
things.
back and we'll have some Nirvana or something in the background.
Same
and
music.
We'll get same music. Yeah. All right. You think we could do another one here?
Yeah.
Rich has been holding online. Rich, do you have something positive to say about your candidate of choice here in the 2024 presidential election?
Yes, I do. I want to answer both questions. The first one's about the American flag flying in your yard.
Yeah.
I've got one big flag on a flagpole, and I've got 13 small flags going through my yard that just to show about support for those soldiers that lost their lives in the Middle East.
That's great.
And the other thing is, I seen on the news this morning that President Trump said that during the debate, he's going to let Kamala talk. And that's probably the best thing that he can do because we know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to beat on her.
What's going to happen?
Uh-oh.
What's going to happen?
What's going to
Rich?
happen?
She's going to make a fool out of herself.
Oh, no, Rich. Oh. Again.
I feel bad hanging up on these
I
people.
do, too. We're not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
But, you just got to keep it within the parameters of the day. Which is tough, which is why we're doing this.
I'm never going to do another thing on this show until the election.
Someone call or like listening in with no context. Like, what is this station right now? Probably is so confused on some of these things.
Doesn't anybody have anything only nice to say about Kamala Harris?
We thought you might.
314-241-9797. We love you too. We want to hear from you too. 314-241-9797. The second you go negative, though, we got the buzzer for you, and the bottom just drops out. We got 2 open lines here. Let's see here.
Most are full, but there are a couple.
Well, let's hold off on the music just
Okay.
because Liz wants to come on the show and talk about the flag in her yard. So if we go into a positive endorsement,
Okay.
we'll bring the
bring it
music
up.
in. Liz, you wanted to answer the poll question today. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home, yes or no? Go ahead, Liz.
Yes, we have a flagpole and we fly the flag, the U.S. flag. I think Trump he's the man. He's who we need for president.
Is this an endorsement?
For Trump?
You want to do a positive endorsement for Trump? All right, let's get the music in here to really send this message home. Go ahead, Liz. Let us have it. Tell us about the man.
He's the man.
Why do you like him? Do you have reasons?
He loves his family. He cares for people. He cares. He's a caring man. People don't see that, and I don't understand why people hate him.
I think I agree with that. I people definitely do spend a lot of time hating him, but I agree with everything you said. Liz, thank you for calling the show. It's good to talk to you. That's another good one. That's 2.
All the way through. Okay.
Let's see here. Dan's going to come on the line here. Dan wants to talk about the flag first. Dan, you've got the poll question here. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home, yes or no?
Yes, I do. Definitely.
How come?
Just out of the patriotism. I love this country very much. This is the best country in the world.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Do you have an endorsement you'd like to give for one of these candidates?
I do.
All right.
I think Trump is fantastic. I think he's for everyone in this country, people of all walks of life, and I think he's the right choice moving forward. And I also want to say that Kamala, she's very pretty, and she's got a beautiful smile.
Well, there you go. There you go. Thank you. We don't have to hang up on you, Dan. We'll say goodbye. Thanks for calling the show. What? You got to turn your
That was
microphone.
great. I'd still, though, if you are a Kamala Harris supporter, I feel like you might be intimidated to call into a conservative radio show that we would fight with you.
We got one.
Oh, okay. But this is your opportunity, so.
So let's talk to Sean. Sean, did you want to talk first about flying an American flag outside of your home?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do that first. Do you fly an American flag outside your home?
I do. A small one.
Not a huge one?
Not a huge one. I would do that, but I do feel like somebody might come back and, not be happy with my pride in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have an endorsement for a candidate you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think Kamala Harris is a beautiful, young, talented woman of color.
Did you say
ish?
What kind of woman of color? Did you say non-talented?
No, very
young,
talented.
It was all positive.
Young, talented. I thought you said non-talented.
Yeah. I feel like there's a silver, there's something waiting around the corner here.
Now, if we would have jumped the gun there and put the buzzer on that would have been very interesting.
Okay.
What
so
else about
I'm pressing your guys' your limits here.
Okay.
She's
We're listening.
a beautiful woman of color-ish. We don't know which one.
Doesn't matter.
You know what? She has a gift of gab. And with that being said, there's really nothing else to be said. Donald Trump will be our next president.
All right. I think that I think that's a pass.
I think he stayed within the parameters.
you
Give him the
did.
ding.
I'll say this.
ding.
If it was a driving test, he was within the lane the whole time, but he was kind of swerving around within it.
It's a pass, but with one eyebrow raised.
Yes, yeah.
Sean, thank you.
I'll settle for that.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, I got another one here for a positive for Harris, but I
Okay.
think this one might be a little more sincere.
Like, yeah, that one,
possibly.
I got the sense that one wasn't.
All right, Michael is on the phone with us. Do you want to give a positive endorsement? First of all, I think you're in a tornado. It seems very windy.
I believe that I'm already in.
Are you going to give an endorsement here?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I already feel like I'm probably in the tornado. It's a positive endorsement for Kamala because she gives us hope that we can move our way up on our back, just like she has. And
Yeah, we're not doing that one. We're not going to do that one. You have to turn your microphone on.
Sorry.
What are you
I got
new?
to pull the music up just because I love it. Ethan doesn't know this.
No.
But I can control the volume over here a little bit too. And I've been kind of going up and down. You probably didn't even notice. It's when somebody's really getting into like, and I really love this, I'll kind of swell it. It's
Okay,
beautiful.
I'm going to try one more here. Ben, I want a legit one. And Ben is calling in with a positive note about Kamala Harris. Let's get your endorsement for Vice President Harris for president. Ben. Ben, are you there? Are you having second thoughts?
He was RFK. He doesn't know what to do.
Vote for me. Don't vote for me. Call my show. Don't call my show. Ben, can you hear us? I really want you to do this.
In about a minute, he's going to go, oh, that was me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the radio.
Wait, are you talking to me?
Oh, there
Hey, Ben! We want it. We want your
Ed.
pause. Ed? Oh.
Oh,
Ed,
that's
not
why.
Ben.
There's a call screen.
I'm thinking, I'm hearing you. Sorry about that.
That's okay. All right.
Now
Ed.
we understand why you were not responding to Ben.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Ed, give us your positive endorsement for Kamala Harris.
Kamala has the right take. She wants to tax the very wealthy. I'm in favor of that because I'm in the financial services business, and I can make a lot of money selling products to the very wealthy to help them avoid paying those taxes.
Wow.
So when she allows the estate tax limitation to come down, I can sell policies to people to help pay those estate taxes.
We need a ruling. Is this still positive? It's not
It is positive.
negative.
It's definitely not negative.
Oh.
It's positive for him.
It's positive and dripping with sarcasm.
Yeah.
But it is positive.
Are you voting for Trump, Ben, or Ed?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thank you. We
Really,
appreciate
even
your
to
phone
his
call.
own detriment, he's going to vote for Trump.
Yeah. Well, maybe not his own personal financial situation as it is right now. All right, this is where the part in the show where I have Tim, Jim, Brad, Karen, and Christine with one line open, and the question is, Wiggins America be or not the be, or more phone calls? And Ryan, it's your segment.
Well, here's the deal. We pretty much have the rest of the day for be to not to be. We have a whole bunch of people waiting on the lines right now. Think I'll give them the difference.
Ryan's the man of the people. We will continue to take your phone calls. So, like I said, Tim, Jim, Brad, Karen, and Christine, don't go anywhere. Someone scoop up that 314-241-9797 open line. We'll do one more segment of positive only endorsements. Somebody seriously has to be out there who wants to give an honest, positive.
I mean, we're having fun. So
we're not gonna
please.
we're not gonna pick on you. We'll listen to what you have to say. Absolutely, we respect everybody who listens to the show. We're grateful that you do. Give us a call, 314-241-9797, in case anyone drops over the break. Snag that line. We'll be right back.
I'm sure. So I gave $1 million just for you to grab me by the collar like on these doors. These doors. I'm not trying to be a part-time lover. Sign me up for them full-time.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Home values are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest TrueHold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? TrueHold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. TrueHold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much TrueHold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Don't miss the historic Bronze Boots Soccer Clash, Sunday, September 8th at City Park. Catch SLU and SIUE men's and women's teams as they face off in this NCAA Division I soccer doubleheader. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Our goal at Neovitin is to make supporting your nutrition as easy as possible. That's why we created the Neovitin monthly subscription. Just go to Neovitin.com, choose your multivitamin, sign up, and we will do the rest. You'll receive your Neovitin multivitamin every month with no long-term obligation. You can pause or cancel at any time, and shipping is free. Each Neovitin multivitamin includes our physician-formulated proprietary blend for nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Start supporting your nutrition the easy way with Neovitin multivitamins. Sign up for a Neovitin subscription today at Neovitin.com.
You can participate in today's YouTube live chat poll. Type in Annie Fry into YouTube, and you'll see the question, do you fly an American flag outside your home? Yes or no? And let us know if you do, why you do, or if you don't, why you don't in the comments. Also, at this very moment, we are taking calls asking you to just stay positive about your candidate. Doesn't matter what candidate it is, but you got to stay positive. 314-241-9797. I do believe that our phone lines are full right now, but as soon as one comes open, you can grab it. 314-241-9797. Stick around for more of this in just a minute. 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Trump debates Harris this Tuesday. Listen live as these two candidates meet for the first time ever, and maybe the only time.
Democracy 2024.
Trump versus Harris. Tuesday night, right here on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
All right, I know you're probably tuning in right now thinking, oh, it's 12:45 on a Friday. It's be or not the be time. But Ryan has made a decision today. He's leaving us. Just kidding.
Hey-o. Yeah, leaving this earth.
What? What a bad way to find out that would be.
Yeah, wouldn't it be?
The be or not the be, we'll do it a little bit later in the show, probably 1:45. And so we're going to cover that. But we've been taking phone calls right now. We've got a full board of phone calls. And what we are attempting to do is bring you on so that you can give a positive endorsement for your candidate, for Trump, for Harris. You call in, you tell us the positive reasons why you support your candidate. And in the event that it ends up turning negative, we're going to give you one and hang up on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the positive vibes.
And in the spirit of positivity, I want to let you know that I am leaving this earth to become an astronaut. I'm very excited about that.
Are you going to go get those two guys, that man and that woman?
That's the idea.
They're sending you?
Yep.
That should work.
Yep. And I have no training. It's going to take me about 8 months to get up there.
You think you're going to get it done in 8 months?
I think so. Yeah. Well, I'm a fast learner, and I am physically fit. And that's why
is this two truths and a lie? What's the next one?
The one lie was I'm not becoming an astronaut.
So are you going to do the show while you're training, or is this it?
We're gonna let him think he is. He's gonna call into the show.
What am I doing that I'm out doing something that I think I'm becoming an astronaut for 8 months, and I'm calling in every day?
We have a full board of phones, so I want to get to this since Ryan has ceded his time here in his traditional Wiggins America slot. We'll do that an hour later. It is Wiggins America Eastern time. Mountain time. We did this last week, and I can't remember. And
yeah, I don't remember either.
314-241-9797. We don't have a line open right now, but there may be some that become available throughout the segment. So if you want to call in and give a positive-only endorsement for your candidate of choice, you can do that. If you go negative, we hang up on you. The YouTube poll for today is also, do you fly an American flag outside of your home, yes or no? So we're curious about that. We want to start with Karen because Karen has a positive note about Kamala Harris, and she wants to give that to us here today. Karen, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show.
Sure, no problem. You know, Kamala, she's given me quite a bit of joy. I really see where she's going for the future. I mean, she is like a doctor. She doesn't want to do any harm. First, do no harm. She is all about making sure that we don't go back. That seems to be the big message, and I can't imagine who would want to go back. Let's focus on her price controls. I mean, if you really think about it, it's a genius idea. If there's price controls and all the prices stay the same at this point, then nobody has to spend more, and so think about it. You'll make the money that you make now. At least you won't have a decrease in money because all costs will be the same, right? So we won't go back. People won't have to make less money. It's genius.
A quick question for you, Karen. That was very well done. Very well done. Positive endorsement for Kamala Harris. But if all the prices are forced to stay the same and the profit margin goes down even more, because grocery profit margin is not high, if the profit margin continues to decrease and businesses have to cut jobs, is that a problem?
Well, I just don't see by her plan how the profit margin can go down, because if everything's going to stay exactly the same, then people will keep their existing job and they won't get a raise. But hey, at least we won't go back, right?
Go back to what?
What she thinks is the past.
Her 3.5 years as the vice president?
Yeah, I guess, like I said, her idea is first do no harm. So I guess at this point, I mean, you can't blame the last 3.5 years on her. That was all Biden. And she's saying, like I said, a doctor, first do no harm. Mm-hmm. We're not going to go back, right?
Would you have voted for Joe Biden?
No.
No? What is the big difference? I think that this is an interesting conversation. What is the big difference between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
She supposedly has her mental capacities.
What about policy?
Policy, I think you mistake me for somebody who's actually voting for Kamala Harris.
You did so well. Karen. Thank you. High five to you.
Trump. Let me try Trump.
All right, get that music back in the room.
I can't believe you did. You had me fooled.
Do you know what? I was trying so hard not to argue with her because she was doing so well.
I know.
No, because the point is, it's hypocritical. You can't not go back and put price controls on everything. You can't.
That was so
good. Now, let me tell you why I'm voting for Trump. Because out of the Obama years, I got now granted, I didn't have a raise all through the Obama years. I work as a contractor, okay? Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a raise. when Trump came into office, I got a 25% raise.
Mm-hmm.
Now that when Joe Biden came into office, I make 8% less than I did under.
That's
under
starting to
Biden.
sound negative, though.
And everything's. What?
Well, those are facts.
Do I have to?
I mean, those are the facts.
I mean, okay, here. I'll just take the music down. Now you're just having a conversation.
Yeah,
we're outside the parameters now.
No, I think you're exactly right. And what people don't understand is, like, if your income isn't going up, but prices are dramatically going up, you are getting a pay cut for sure.
Hey, you know what? During the last 3.5 years, my kids have had to come to me for help. During the Trump years, they did not have to come to me for help. So I feel bad for them. They make a lot less than I do, and they are struggling every day to get through this economy.
Karen, thank you for listening to the show, and thanks for calling us today. It's great to speak with
All
you.
right.
Take care.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, the genius of Karen is that she actually sounded like real talking points.
They were just talking points, though.
But they were just talking, and when you asked a question, they just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pick apart Trump supporters when they call in, so I'm specifically
trying to be fair.
Trying to
I
let
get it,
people do their positive thing. Because listen, I understand that if you're a listener to the show and you hear anybody call in and speak in just talking points, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And she sounded like
tricked me.
She should be in the Kamala Harris campaign. She made more sense than they do. Bob says he's got positive notes about Trump and Harris. Bob, which one do you want to do first here? Because if you go negative on one, we're gonna have to not hear the other.
Oh, we can do President Trump first.
Do Trump, okay.
I think he's the right man for the job. A lot of his beliefs and what he's wanting to do is kind. And
we didn't
I
buzz
just
him
think
there.
we were better. You know, we were better when he was president, and I think give him a second term. I think he'll do just as well.
I think that's a good one. All right, shifting into Kamala Harris. You think you can do a positive endorsement for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, I think I can.
All right,
I got a couple points.
Let's
One
hear it,
is
Bob.
she's, you know, from all the stuff that they say about her, you know, she does resonate with a lot of people. She is easy on the eyes. You know, I'd give her an 8 out of 10. And if the rumors are true,
I don't know where you're going.
What people are saying about her, you know, with her rise in prominence and you know, rise in her political, you know, she is.
It's starting to sound negative.
I'm anticipating for the sake of the children listening right now.
I think trying to spin that into a positive is where we're going to have some trouble.
I can do a positive one for Kamala Harris. Then he goes, and I'm like, we get 8 seconds of silence here. All right, let's go. Officer Gary, positive note about Harris. Can we get a legit one? Is this you? We'll see. Let's go for it, Gary. What do you got?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this is Officer Gary. I really think Kamala would be a great artist, a canned laughter artist. If they could just record her laugh and use it as a canned laughter. Got a wonderful smile. I think she'd be great in toothpaste commercials. And then I think she'd be great if she were a restaurateur and she could open a Indian soul food fusion restaurant.
An Indian soul food fusion restaurant.
I'd eat there.
Is that up your alley?
Actually, yeah.
All right. I think that's a overall net positive one. Okay. Tim, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. Do you have a positive endorsement for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
I have one for both, but Annie and Brad, happy Friday to you both. They often say perception becomes reality. Recently, Donald Trump has received endorsements from RFK, as you guys have both mentioned, and my favorite, Tulsi Gabbard, the beautiful Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii. And so that has now convinced me to vote for Mr. Donald Trump a third time.
Okay.
And so moving over to Kamala Harris, yes. I got to say, yes, that's really it. On the other hand, her sister is beautiful. She has a very, very beautiful sister. And I got to say, at the convention, my eyes were blown away.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Beautiful.
I don't believe that there's nobody out there.
We're getting a lot of them about Kamala's looks and not much
Yeah,
else. Not much else.
Yeah, so if you call it in to do something original, that one's been done.
Christine, you want to talk about flags? I think we could set the music aside for this. Our YouTube live chat poll for today is: do you fly an American flag outside your home? Yes or no? We got about a minute left. Christine, what do you think?
I fly two flags. I fly the American flag and the gay flag.
Yeah?
And that does say political to me is that America has allowed me to be me and my wife. I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Yeah?
I believe he loves this country, and that means to me that he loves me. He's going to care for me.
Oh, sorry. The music coming
you
back.
got
Sorry.
One job, Ryan. That might have been one of the best ones we did. Christine.
There.
You did a great job. You're a Trump supporter?
Absolutely.
And you have no problem flying both of those flags out in front of your home?
No, I do not. They are huge flags.
And you're proud
They're
of
not
both
small.
of them? Yeah.
I absolutely am.
Well, Christine,
America has allowed me and my wife to be married and be who we are.
Christine, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate you listening to the show and weighing in today. Good to talk to you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
How's it going?
I would say that was that one hit both questions with one answer. Is the only one that did that.
Yeah. It's like great production. Oh, man.
I feel like we've done a great job here with this music special.
Yeah, I bet that was the part you
That was the part
contributed.
I did.
Oh, man. Ask us anything coming up in the next hour. And, boy, that was fun. Stick
was
around.
cool.
More Annie Fry Show in just a few minutes.
All right, we're in September. It sounds like it's early because we're just fighting with all the heat and getting our air conditioning fixed. But for all the early birds, a word to the wise: schedule and have your furnace checked and make sure it is ready for winter before all the slots get filled up, and you'll end up having to wait, and you don't want your furnaces break the same as air conditioners. Just different temps. An air conditioner will break when it's 100, your furnace will break when it's 0, and on the weekend. Do everything you can not to allow that to happen. Just give us a call. We'll put you on the schedule and get you a furnace check, make sure it's safe and ready to go at a very nominal fee. Call me, Bart Inman, at one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. And the only number for Missouri and Illinois is 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it's bartinman.com.
Before you sell your home, consider your options. Mark Cox here, and for years now, I've been telling you about St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is an expert in selling homes for the most money because she has the guarantees, the buyers, and different solutions for every type of seller. She recently provided a family multiple cash offers in minutes so they could move quickly with no showings, no costly repairs, and no hassles. Now, not everyone's looking for multiple cash offers. That's why Gloria will sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. Her name says it all: Your Home Sold Guaranteed. Regardless of whether you're looking for multiple cash offers or you want to utilize her Guaranteed Sold program to ensure you get the most money possible. Here's your next step. Call Gloria at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. The Trump sentencing is delayed. I'm Lisa Brady. The judge in the New York hush money case against the former president just moving the sentencing date from September 18th to November 26th, 3 weeks after Election Day.
This is not a decision the court makes lightly, he writes, but it is a decision which, in this court's view, best advances the interest of justice. Now, it's important to note the Manhattan DA's office did not object to a sentencing delay here.
Fox's Nate Foy. 2 weeks before the sentencing, Judge Juan Merchan will rule on Trump's motion to have the case tossed out over the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity. Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, stemming from payments made to Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. Earlier today, Trump was in court for arguments in his appeal of the E. Jean Carroll case.
The former president wants a verdict overturned after a jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation, ordering him to pay $5 million in damages, stemming from an alleged encounter between the two decades ago. The former president, after the hearing, once again calling the case a hoax.
It all goes back to the DOJ and Kamala and Sleepy Joe and all the rest of them.
The appeals court didn't immediately rule. The former president's initial reaction and other statements have also led a jury this year to award Carroll tens of millions of dollars more in damages.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. While speaking to reporters earlier, the former president also hitting on campaign themes, including border security, while his running mate, J.D. Vance, visits the southern border in San Diego.
We want to go to war with the Mexican drug cartels. We want to close down the American southern border. We want to reinstitute deportations, and we want to stop the insanity at the southern border.
Vice President Kamala Harris has said she wants to find solutions, not play politics with immigration, blaming Trump for the defeat of a bipartisan border security bill. America's listening to Fox News.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It's been a hot afternoon with moderate humidity, and temperatures will drop back into the upper 80s this evening. It's warm overnight, 68 for the low, maybe a spot thunderstorm towards morning. Friday, a spot early thunderstorm. That's the cool front coming by. Swinging winds to the northwest, partly sunny and breezy, 81. Friday night, clear, breezy, 55. Saturday, sunny and 74. Sunday, sunny and 77. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
AirComfortService.com. That's the website for you to check out if you are interested in HVAC, repair, tune-up, replacement, all of it. Air Comfort Service has got you covered. And when you go to aircomfortservice.com, you're always going to be connected to the best deals that they have going. A lot of times great financing opportunities for you and things like this. The $55 off any AC repair sale. Also, a $55 off a new water heater. You can help celebrate 55 years of being in business with Air Comfort Service and save some money on your own. They care about you. They care about making sure that you get the best possible value for what you're investing in and making sure that your comfort zone, it's always right there within reach with a great product from Air Comfort Service. Like I said, you can check out the rebates that they have available at any given time. Sometimes they change. Sometimes they're a little bit nicer. You can go online to aircomfortservice.com and find all the details you need. aircomfortservice.com.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out youridoc.com. That's youridoc.com.
At Hampton Manor of Wentzville, they go the extra step to make sure their residents feel special. Mark Cox here for my friends at Hampton Manor. I recently stopped by there. You know, their veterans are celebrated with special recognitions, including special pastries created by their pastry chef. They have their own private chef. They'll even feed you lunch if you stop by for a visit at this great senior living community off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. Schedule your appointment today at wentzvilleassistedliving.com.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. That was a fun 12 o'clock hour. A little shenaniganery.
Sure enough.
In the middle of that hour, we decided to open the phone lines and let y'all call in and give a positive-only review for your candidate of choice. Where are lefties? They usually call in if I ask other questions.
Yeah, that's interesting because we usually have a handful. I would say if we have 10 calls, about 2 or 3 of them would be from people who are genuinely on the left.
You have to ask yourself, are none of them listening today? Totally possible.
Well,
or
we
can
do
they
this
not do it?
on Fridays a lot, though. So you'd think that they would be listening on a Friday, just like other Fridays.
Scott Jennings of CNN, Bill Maher refers to him as Lonely Scott, which I think is funny. He has that in his bio now. Scott Jennings does.
Bill Maher says that?
He calls him Lonely Scott.
Really?
Yeah, because he's the only right-leaning person on CNN. Scott Jennings was talking about why people like Donald Trump. Let's listen.
But he did lay out a series of things, making his tax cuts that he passed in his term permanent. He talked about terminating the Inflation Reduction Act, which, by the way, Joe Biden admitted today they totally lied about. He admitted they should have called it a climate change bill. But he talked about terminating that and giving back unspent funds. He talked about cutting regulations. He talked about unleashing more domestic energy production. So he did give a speech today that gave you an idea of the kinds of economic principles that he would put in place.
Right, but
in his opinion,
it's easy
they would
with a
lower
broad
inflation,
brush.
they would improve the economy.
It's easy with a broad brush.
If I may just go back on the efficiency issue. I actually do think voters want to hear a president of the United States say, you know, maybe the federal government does need to be more efficient. Maybe we do waste money. Maybe it's too big. Maybe we need to take a look top to bottom to see if we've been stacking bureaucracy on top of bureaucracy for so long that we have no idea what's working. So I think as a matter of what will voters say to this, and I don't know if Elon Musk is going to run it or the right person to run it or whatever, but they do believe that outsiders, business people, folks from the private sector might have something to say about how government could run more efficiently. It's one of the allures of Trump in the first place. Trump, the businessman, it's why they think he would be good at managing the economy. So I do think there's some appeal to it politically.
So, those are all very boring but very important reasons why people support Donald Trump. There's no emotional sensationalism that goes into all of that, which is kind of the point. Like, make the case for your candidate without having to smack the other candidate around. And you don't really hear a whole lot of that. Everything that surrounds this campaign is usually trying to push you into an emotional reaction.
It's probably why Donald Trump, being the media showman that he is, attached Elon Musk to it. Because, like Scott Jennings said, we don't know if this will be Elon Musk, but just the fact that he's out there saying we need to have more accountability, we have so much government waste, that's a good thing. And then saying, and I think Elon Musk will be in charge of it, that kind of gets the headlines. It works. So I'm all for it. And we need it regardless of whose name is attached to it.
What do you think, like in all sincerity, not joking around here, what is the Kamala Harris positive endorsement?
Like from a caller or
No,
a voter?
I mean, like how I think that if I think about other candidates that have run against candidates that I've supported, I can come up with things that are obviously positive to a large group of people. Maybe not to me, but I can see that the other side has a perspective that I don't and acknowledge that. I don't know what the Kamala Harris positive is outside of not Trump.
Well, I say this in all sincerity in answering your question, that I do think it is just like the joy thing, the feelings.
But I don't think
she's energetic.
But I don't think that I don't think those are true, and I think those are just words that the people on the left are using to more define how we're supposed to consume Donald Trump.
I do too.
That she's not joyful. I mean, again, I've said this from really the very beginning when joy became a thing, that I believe that the joy umbrella was to cover her laugh. And that her laugh was looked at as a liability, and they were trying to take a liability and figure out how they could turn it into a neutral to strength asset. And the idea of joy, I mean, what do you think of when you think of joy? Smiling and laughter. And so they decided to try to flip it on its head and make her laughter a strength for her. I don't think it works. And I think that the joy element is the opposite. I mean, it is the opposite feeling of what Harris supporters feel when they think of Donald Trump.
The surprising thing with
just to sum
go
up,
ahead.
I just don't think that joy is even if Ron DeSantis is the candidate, I don't think they're talking about joy right now.
No. But I think they've had to go with that and the feelings thing because they were going to run on one major point, and it was that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. They were going to make that the center of the entire campaign, which again is not focused on their candidate. It's focused on the other guy. But they can't even do that now because their candidate got no votes. So they're left with just feelings. You could say that the democracy thing is kind of a policy. It's not really a policy so much as it is a philosophy, but at least it was something. There really is not anything now that you can say this is what they're running on.
I want to be able to, I think my strength as somebody who can have conversations with people comes with my genuine my genuine interest in understanding an opposing view. I feel stronger about my positions when I have challenged them with an understanding of why somebody might disagree with me. Because sometimes you'll consider the opposite side and you'll go, I really understand that. And you know, I've got my visceral response to the issue, but I can understand how I wouldn't, just because I feel this certain way about something, that doesn't necessarily, it doesn't translate to the other side to just make them need to feel the same way I do. I think abortion is one of those issues that, for me, I am pro-life. I think life begins at conception. I think that's science. I don't think that there's really anything to disagree there. And if somebody were to say it doesn't begin at conception, I would then counter with, well, when does life begin? And that tends to be arbitrary for people who are trying to advocate for abortion at any and all measures. While I do believe that life begins at conception and that all life should be protected, I do understand why people find themselves in Planned Parenthood with the only choice that they think they have from the pressures of the pro-choice, pro-abort movement. They feel like they have only one choice, and their only one choice is to get rid of the baby because having that baby is going to ruin their life. And I think that Republicans miss the mark so much. I mean, I wish that the Republican Party would, for every effort made by the left to make abortion possible, I wish we would double their efforts in making adoption accessible. So that when abortion is discussed and they say, what are you doing about it? You only care about the baby until it's born and then you don't care about it. I don't believe that to be true, but sometimes our advocacy doesn't prove that we don't believe that to be true. And you start talking about government programs and government handouts. Our government gives $500 million or something to Planned Parenthood. What if we gave $1 billion to the adoption industry so that you could make sure that good families out there can take in these babies whose moms decide that their lives are worth delivering? Why is adoption so incredibly inaccessible? Why is it? I mean, I think Illinois, I have a friend who adopted 2 children, and the stories, the story, the timeline would make you furious to understand the absolute. I mean, these are 2 of the most amazing people that I know. And when those people walk in and say, I'd like to adopt a baby, you should be pulling out every stop to make sure that that happens. And we just don't do it. Government bureaucracy, red tape, everything gets in the way and makes it complicated. And there are people who quit doing it because we overcomplicate the situation. Now, you can't just be handing kids out to people in their homes, but the alternative can't be that baby's life's not worth living. So you kill it? Where is the advocacy? You don't really see it. Name somebody who's out there who's in government right now who is a huge adoption advocate.
It's not front and center for anybody.
Why? Why? I mean, if you want to push back, I mean, I should do better at this. But if you want to look for solutions to the problem instead of trying to win an argument over a problem, which, I can sit here and advocate for life and why scientifically, biologically, I think life begins at conception. And I can say that we should not be ending those lives. And people can just willfully say, I don't agree with that. There are people who will openly say, well, I think it's a baby, but I just don't think that the mom should have to bear that burden. And then, there are people on the right side of the aisle who will say ignorant things like she made a choice when she made the choice to put herself in a position for conception. And I mean, that is true, that you will not get pregnant if you don't have sex with people. And if you're in a position where it's been forced upon you, are there exceptions to the rule there? Those are ones that can be politically discussed. How many babies' lives could be saved because abortion isn't accessible for just birth control, but in a defense mechanism against a scenario where there has been a forcing upon? That's a different conversation that we have. I'm open to politically having those conversations, but it still doesn't change. That doesn't change science. That doesn't make it different. Life doesn't begin in a later time when the baby is conceived in the worst of circumstances. Life is life. That's just the way it is. But I understand an advocacy politically of saying that this is when we use the morning after. This is when we do 6 weeks or whatever. I mean, all of those conversations should be had. I actually wish that we would take it up as a cultural issue. I wish the church would take it up as a religious issue. I wish that communities would take it up as do we have children in our communities that are in need, and we would support those kids because those are lives worth supporting and protecting, and we just sit and fight over abortion.
While you don't hear politicians making the case that you're making right now, the nice thing is, and I know you know a lot of these people too, there are individuals who make it their life's mission to take care of those babies. And you know what they do? They typically start ministries or they start not-for-profits. And man, that is completely 100% private funded.
When you think about, like, the 3 of us in here, Ethan and for Brad today, the 3 of us in here are Christians. We, foundationally, that's who we are. I completely understand, respect the fact that you listening right now might not be of that walk. I don't think that if you don't have my Christian faith, that doesn't at least mean you can't have a secular understanding of morality. I don't think you need to have a Christian faith to, in a secular way, understand that going out and killing somebody on the street right now is bad. I definitely get morality from my Christian faith, but I don't think I don't think that morality has to specifically be rooted personally, individually in religion, although most morality is derived from religion. But all of the issues that we could talk about, mental health, students who feel so disenchanted with everything around them, like this kid apparently in Georgia felt. Going back, I've heard a lot about Ethan Crumley, which was at Michigan, I think, with the parents were charged. I think it was Michigan.
Good question.
He was drawing the most heinous drawing saying, like, I need help and nobody will help me. I mean, like, you want to talk about screaming out for help. Like, what is the mental health crisis taking place in our country right now? Look at all of these issues where abject loneliness is consuming people, and the answer is not in a politician. The answer that you need to remedy these incredibly huge problems that are expanding in our country. Republicans need to be the small government group, and we need to understand that we need to look within our communities. We need to look within our churches. What is your church? What is my church doing to help the least of these? When churches, when communities, when families see people in need and pick up and help those people in need, you have way less need for government to stand up and do it. And I mean, it's not a good excuse, but when communities don't pick up and help themselves, it opens the door wide open for politicians to take advantage of that situation to obtain and retain power for themselves in the absence of good people doing good things. And abortion is going to be a huge issue in this election. It's probably the number one thing that's going to get Democrats across the line in close races, because you got states like Missouri who have abortion on the ballot, and it's going to pull up and out some of those Democrat voters. But I implore you to understand that as somebody who is about as pro-life as it gets, you need to understand that the fix is cultural. It's not political. We're not going to elect the right human beings into government office to then right the ship. And it is super, super lazy, for lack of a better term, and fruitless to sit around and know that these problems, abortion being one of them, but there are many, many more, that these problems exist in our society and be like, well, you got Democrats in office. That's just what happens. And so you sit around and wait for a Republican to get there, and then they don't get anything done either. The culture is where we can fix these things. And that requires people like me in my everyday life, and probably you and yours, if you haven't done that yet, to get up off our tushes and go do something helpful for just like one person. It doesn't have to be something that gets headlines written about it. It could be in your church. You know the things your church does in your community. You know the things that your maybe community groups, different advocacy groups or philanthropy groups in your neighborhoods, what they do. Like, how much of this are we actually participating in? And how often do we as conservatives, I live in the state of Illinois, complain a little bit about the state government from time to time, living in or working in the city of St. Louis. I leave the blue state of Illinois to come work in the blue city, in the bluest cities in Missouri. And there's lots to complain about here. But like, what am I doing in the process of what I can actually do to make it better? As a challenge to myself. I mean, maybe to you, maybe you relate to that as well. But the answer is not, Ryan, well, once we get Republicans in there, everything's going to be fixed. You do not fix culture with politics.
No, as we always say, politics is downstream from culture. And I always say that culture is downstream from spirituality/morality, which is exactly what you're just saying just now.
Let's take a quick break. Ask us anything when we come back. If you want to join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, you can leave your comments and ask us in the questions. We got Ethan in for Brad today. Brad's taking the day off. You can ask Ryan, Ethan, myself whatever you want, and we'll field as many of those questions as we can. Be or not to be a little bit later in the show, 1:45, depending on how many questions we get, might hit it off in the top of the 2 o'clock segment, but we will do Be or Not to Be with Ryan Wiggins and Wiggins America coming up here before we wrap the show up. And your YouTube live chat poll votes. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home? Yes or no? We want to, man, lots of comments here. Orange Potato says, I do not fly an American flag, but I do fly a Missouri state flag. That's interesting. Joseph said, yes, currently only Trump flag or blacked out American flag. I wonder if that's the blue line.
That's what I thought too when I read that.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
I can argue. I mean, I'm A-okay. I'm A-okay with the thin blue line. And I agree with that message.
Sure.
But then anytime you're altering the American flag, I'm like, Andy said, yes, MAGA conservatives don't own patriotism. That's true. We do not. Everybody is welcome. Thank you, Andy, for flying your flag. Let's take a quick break. Ask us anything when we come back.
Every day is a new day.
Cassens and Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Have you reached out to Cassens yet for your vehicle purchase? When others can't, Cassens can. 618-800-2712. Shopping for a car this weekend? Make sure that you give Cassens the opportunity to earn your business, get that Annie Fry Show connection going. Call them at 618-800-2712 and tell them what it is you are looking for, and they're going to help you get it, and they're going to get it for a great price. I have purchased multiple vehicles, I think 3 vehicles total myself with my husband from Cassens, and every experience has been that each one that I have afterwards greater than the last, which is why we keep going back, because I trust them to treat us right. And I also care very deeply about how is that car going to be maintained over the life that we own it. And they have always done us right by making sure the service department keeps us safe and on the road. That matters a lot. Like I said, when others can't, Cassens can. They're located in Glen Carbon, Illinois, just about a mile north off 270 on 159. Give them a call, 618-800-2712, online at cassenscan.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Experience the beauty of custom-crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin, proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong, they're 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
Great news. September is Grill Master Tony's 14th anniversary celebration month. And that's good news because through the month of September, he's giving you 14% off your entire order. Yes, this includes the entire menu, including brisket, as only Tony can prepare it and deliver it hot and ready to eat right to your doorstep. Be sure and visit him, grillmastertony.com. Type in 14 at checkout. That's grillmastertony.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, we take you into the weekend with our Reardon Roundtable. Jane Duker on the panel, State Rep Donna Behringer, and the Mayor of Eureka, Sean Flower.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
My baby born a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. It's 9 to 5, ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell them bring another round, we need plenty more. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a thing.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Man, I love this song. I can't get enough of it. When it first started airing on, I was listening to Sirius, I think, maybe on a vacation, so I was driving in the car long term, and it kept playing over and over again. I love this song. I can't get enough of it.
Who is this?
Shabuzi.
Ah, Shabuzi.
Watch your language. That's what you say when you stub your toe.
No, it's just the way I say it.
It's just the way you say it?
Ah,
Let's do Ask Us Anything.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth! You were going to make a new intro for this.
All right.
Next question. Remember we talked about that last week?
Question, should I make a new intro for this?
Yes.
Ethan.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Ding, ding.
All right.
Dilly, dilly. Next. Don't write stuff. You're doing the segment. Do you have a question?
Do I have a question? I'm going to read a couple of the listener questions first. Well, you pulled one up, Ethan. Do you want to do that one?
I'll do it. I did.
Okay.
If aliens landed and offered you the chance to go to another planet that has not been touched by man but is exactly the same, would you go? Like you get to be Adam on the new planet.
I'm assuming he means you got to stay there, though. You can't transfer back and forth. Like you can't add him over there and come back and be Ryan here.
Either one.
I'd totally do Adam Ryan. I don't know that I would just do Adam. I don't think I would just want to be alone. But do I get to live 1,000 years also?
Do you want to?
I don't know.
No, I think you have to go there when you're 45 or whatever you are going to be.
43.
Close. What's your favorite number?
Are
you going?
I'm going to say no. I'm not going to do it.
I am not going.
Absolutely not.
No, you're not going to Eve it? You'd be the mother of a
Eve
brand new...
I had to think about what you said
I
there.
was really
Almost
confused for a second.
The thing is, though, I almost said it, and I was like, no, you wouldn't even be. You wouldn't be like the mother of a new race. You'd already have a whole bunch of people here. So
you could be the mother. It depends.
You'd just be starting a new planet.
Here's the question. Here's the real question. We find that planet, and it's important that we start a new race, new life. Do we send a man and a woman? And who gets to determine who a man and a woman is to send them there?
Oh, man. I think it would probably end with the politicians deciding that they would send themselves.
To blow the planet up, just nuke it.
No, I think what would happen is you'd have like the number one guy in the world, like whoever's the biggest superpower guy would
Elon
be like,
Musk?
I'm the guy.
Or Joe Biden.
I don't know who it would be.
Maybe we should just send Joe Biden.
It might be Putin.
Oh.
Somebody random who's like, I'm in charge.
That could solve a lot of problems.
And
All right.
whoever that guy is would be the one guy, and he'd say, I'm going to take 100 women. That's what would happen.
Next question.
Next question. Okay, well, I have one. I would like to do mine.
Yes, please.
What is the worst pain you've ever had in your life?
Worst pain I've ever had in my life. I had a torsion in my right ovary.
Oh,
okay, that sounds really painful.
And it was turning over on itself. So let's talk a little. Speaking of women,
that's why you take 100 of them.
Just in case one's faulty. That was me. Had to have the ovary out. This was after I had my son, but before I had my 3 girls. But my ovary turned over on itself, and I had to have, I think it's called an oophorectomy. It starts with 2 O's.
Oofer?
Uh-huh.
Oofa.
Oophorectomy.
I bet it was a German that discovered that process.
I don't know. Actually, no. I was going to try to tell you what my OB's heritage was, and I don't, I guess.
Dr. Schutzenhofer.
No, but it would turn over on itself, and they did an exploratory surgery first to see why I was having such pain, because it wasn't my appendix. And afterwards, my OBGYN who did the exploratory surgery said, like, to put it not in medical terms, you have a flimsy ovary. And basically what attached the ovary to the rest of whatever my system is would turn over on itself.
Ugh.
And they could tell that when it was in there. And then maybe 3 weeks after I had the exploratory surgery, I had the pain again. And I had probably been in the emergency room 6 times or so with this dramatic pain. And they would just dope me up on morphine. And they'd be like, "Are you still in pain?" And I'm like, "Yes, but I don't care," on the morphine. He actually went in to check out what was going on. And then 3 weeks later, same pain. He came in, I think it was on a Sunday night, and took it out. And then I think I got pregnant with Jensen like within 2 months. So you just need one.
This is a months-long process, though.
Well, the emergency, or I had an elective exploratory surgery to find out what was going on. And they didn't take out my ovary because I went into surgery not thinking I was losing parts. So that was the conservative way to go about things. But then I had the pain again quickly, and it felt like I was being stabbed, and there's nothing I could do. And I had an appendectomy, but the ovary pain was worse.
That does not sound very fun.
And I've had 4 babies, and man,
that was worse.
No,
I mean this thing was worse.
Oh yes, because I had epidurals, and they were getting that needle stuck in your back. Did you see your wife get that needle stuck in her back? How'd that go for you?
It was rough on me. Yeah, I don't love that. You know what's really rough on her though is she did not get the epidural in the second pregnancy, the second delivery.
Because she was gonna try to do it natural.
She did. She did it
but I mean,
full
like,
natural.
she went in with
she
the
went
intent.
in, yeah, knowing that she was going to.
You can go
she did.
into labor with the intention of getting an epidural, and you're too far progressed, and you miss the time window that you can get an epidural. That's the really scary one.
Intentional.
If you go in intentionally thinking no epidural, and then you regret it, it's kind of on you.
Oh yeah, and this is on our 3rd child. So, and it wasn't like, oh, you could do
twins.
a water birth or anything like that. She was just on the hospital bed. Just go. Here we go.
Superwoman.
Man, that's rough. But the first one was twins, and she was like, I'm not gonna do that. So she got the epidural. It only worked on half of her body.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that before?
Oh, sure.
Is that common?
You have to rotate when you're in the bed after you get the epidural because the medicine, if you're on your side, which sometimes they'll put you on the side to help open things up or whatever, the medicine will move more to one side of your body, so you have to turn over so that it stays balanced. But there's also a possibility that it just does take on one side, and never happened to me. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. So half of her was very comfortable.
Most pain you've ever had?
When we went to Disney in 2023. You may have heard this story, but
I'm surprised that the most pain you've ever been in, I was adjacent to.
Yeah, you weren't quite there for it, but we did those parks hard.
Yeah,
we walked hard, and I was so dehydrated without knowing that I was, because you're just achy because you've been walking so much. I didn't realize I just hadn't drank enough water, and I was drinking a decent amount. We just walked that much that by the time we got home, I guess one of the rides there, let's say it was
Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain, for instance, shook a kidney stone loose. Now, I didn't know that I had kidney stones, so I woke up in the middle of the night after we got back, and we had done one full day of broadcasting after we had gotten back, too. I woke up in the middle of the night, was in some pain, and I thought, what is going on? I hope I don't have like a ruptured appendix or something. I didn't know what it was. So I went in the bathroom and got so far as to lay down on the floor in the bathroom and just lay there
in pain,
in pain, not knowing what was going on. So I had walked away from my phone then, and I just couldn't move. And so I crawled back into the room, and I was sleeping in a different room than my wife because I snore sometimes. And I called her on the phone in the middle of the night.
Help me.
You're going to need to come down here.
Why do you sound like a creepy
I couldn't get it out. And then
basement dweller?
Because that's what I am.
Oh.
And and then
That's a good reason.
I had to call my parents to take me to the emergency room. And on the drive, the only thing I ever said to my dad the whole time, because I'm just sitting there just wincing as he's driving to the emergency room, said, "Stop hitting potholes." Yeah.
Is that what you sounded like?
Yeah, because I could barely muster, the sound. It
Oh
was
my
that
goodness.
painful.
Worst
So,
pain, Ethan?
In high school, I don't know really what made it occur, but I had this nasty pinched nerve in my lower back by my piriformis muscle. Basically, like your sacrum bone, your butt. It got shifted forward.
Speak in terms that we understand.
Yeah, there we go.
No Latin here.
It got shifted forward somehow to where it was pinching that nerve, and it affected pretty much everything from my lower back down to my foot on my right side. So there
How'd you
was
fix it?
Time?
Chiropractor.
A lot of getting adjustments, and yeah, it was not fun. So went through a couple week period there where any movement just could be sudden, could be kind of predictable sometimes. But it was all nerves. There was no predicting it really. It was terrible.
No bueno. It's time to break. This is where I ask you, Ryan. Shall you claim your Wiggins America Babylon B or not the B time in the 1:45 segment, or would you like to seat it for a longer segment in the 2 o'clock hour and do more Ask Us Anything?
I'm torn because I really would like to do it, but there is one more question that I would also like to ask from one of the listeners. There's quite a few questions, but
can you tease the question? What's it about?
it's about visiting a fictional place.
Okay.
And I think it's an interesting question. So I guess we go ahead and do Ask Me Anything, and then we'll come back with B or not the B.
All right. More Ask Us Anything when we come back. The B or not the B, maybe in Mark Reardon show. We'll see.
Ask more questions, too. We got one more segment here.
Annie Fry YouTube channel is where you can drop those questions in. We'll do the B or not the B in the 2 o'clock hour. And check out your comments, too, on the YouTube live chat poll. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home? Yes or no? Doug says, yes, I'm not a Democrat. Well, we already got from Andy that Republicans don't own patriotism. Ripper said, yes, I fly it proudly every day. And Russell said, heck yes, I fly an American flag outside my house. Always have and always will. Why? Because I love America. Everyone should. We'll be right back.
Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
September's the month to plan your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. And right now, mention my name, Mark Cox, and you'll get 48 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Just call Chesterfield Fence and Deck at 636-532-4054. Tell them you want your free estimate and free project design, because that's what they do. They're celebrating their 56th year in business, locally owned and operated for all that time, and they are professionally trained. They have a lot of pride in what they do. You're going to love visiting their showroom. If you need inspiration, go visit them in the Chesterfield Valley. The beautiful wood and vinyl fences and decking material are unbelievable. The custom sunrooms, the screen rooms, the pergolas, the patios, they can make your dream yard become a reality. Call them at 636-532-4054 or go online anytime to chesterfieldfence.com. Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Do you fly an American flag outside your home? Yes or no? That is today's YouTube live chat poll. Let us know. A lot of people chiming in on this one, so apparently some strong opinions. We'd love to hear yours. 146, this time check is brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is happening now. Tune in to the Annie Fry Show live stream. Vote and be a part of the conversation by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Subscribe and leave a comment.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile, my curiosity running wild, cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go. Riding along in my automobile.
Happy Friday, folks. It's always nice to be able to say that. Do you have big Friday weekend plans?
Yeah, we have. No, we don't have big plans.
No.
We have a lot of plans.
Yeah.
It's just busy.
Different. What about you, Ethan?
So I'm gonna be at the ballpark a lot.
Yeah?
And
Home baseball games?
We got baseball tonight. And then Adam Wainwright is going to be on the live post-game show tonight at Ballpark Village.
All right.
So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. And then tomorrow, Lindenwood football on the play-by-play on radio for that.
You're doing the play-by-play?
Yep. So looking forward to that as well. And then back to the ballpark on Sunday.
I think his weekend is going to be more impressive than ours, right?
I don't know, because what team is Lindenwood playing?
Central Arkansas.
I'm calling for them. So it's going to be awkward.
Really? I didn't know you had I didn't know
don't-
you had connections, ties with the central region
I don't.
of Arkansas.
It's my first broadcast.
Really?
The home broadcasts don't joust.
Well, it depends.
No.
Like if you're just a fan of football and you don't have any dog in the fight, you're going to tune into one of us.
Who's the other team?
Central Arkansas.
Does Central Arkansas know that you're broadcasting their side?
Yeah, email them.
Somebody
see what
please
they
email
say.
them. Somebody email them. Ask about Wiggins. I would love that.
And apologize and say ahead of time, look, we understand that normally this debut broadcast from Wiggins for Central Arkansas would be huge.
This is big.
But
Yeah.
Ethan is on the same show,
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of a conflict. So I don't want you to judge me by these numbers this weekend.
I will be watching grade school volleyball all
Okay.
weekend. The team I coach, we've got a 7th grade team playing in an 8th grade tournament.
Heyo.
Who's calling that, Brad?
Maybe. I don't know. Nobody, because the people in the gym are usually blood related. Yeah, lots of volleyball this weekend for us. I hope it's just a 2-day tournament, but Lots of Lutheran schools, guys. I'm telling you what, Lutheran schools is where it's at. Good competition. And we're excited to this is a weekend of experience. And I keep telling my girls, like, listen, we're not supposed to go there. We're not supposed to win any of these games. We're going to do our best. We're going to get experience. We're going to be a better team when we're done. And it's kind of nice to be able to go into a tournament without any sort of like specific pressures because you're determined to be the underdog. So hopefully there's a lot of growth. I think we're going to maybe get to play a total of 7 matches. And
that's a lot.
I hope we don't hate each other when we're done. It's a lot of matches. I don't think we will. A little more Ask Us Anything before we take into the 2 o'clock hour?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you this one.
Okay.
How do you know summer is over? Or what is it that happens that you say, okay, I think we're done?
Summer to me is defined by the school year pretty definitively. My parents have a pool. We love going over there and swimming at the pool. And I am always, it's been more so with each passing year, trying to find any time during the school year to go over there and enjoy the pool because the pool stays open till October usually. It's heated, so you can spend some time in there when it gets into the 70s or the 60s if you want. But like, man, when the pool gets closed, it's like, I guess it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a touch of fall, the leaves come down, and summer is over, and it makes me sad.
I was a
hate
little
endings.
surprised to see how early the Halloween stuff was coming out this year. And people were already saying, okay, ready for scary movies and stuff like August 1st.
Yeah. I much prefer fall and winter clothes than summer. But what about you? When's summer over?
Summer is over when football starts.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
football
one.
has started.
For me too.
So
yeah, it's this
to
weekend.
the fall we go.
Yep.
What's the mascot of that team again? The one you're broadcasting for?
Oh, the Rice Krispies.
That's not true.
Well,
That's
I
not
mean,
true.
that's personal to us. It's what we carry in the booth.
Yeah, so what do you say on the air?
Go Krispies.
Did you say when summer ends?
No. And I want to clarify, when I asked you who Lindenwood was playing this weekend, that was rhetorical. I already knew, obviously. Summer ends.
Starting to fall apart.
The minute that I feel a little bit of a chill in the air.
Haven't had that yet.
I have.
At later in the evening?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, or early morning. It's just been this week, though. I went, oh, okay. I guess we're there.
Does anything like magically happen in that moment for you? Like, or is it just kind of like a recognition?
Can you
or
talk
is there
about it on the air? Or
is there?
I can talk about it on the air. In that moment,
you magically
no.
like, do you go like grab a scarf? Like, do you immediately go to Starbucks for pumpkin
but there's
spice?
a hat that sits in our garage most of the year. You put it on anything. We tend to put it on snowmen. They come to life. So you asked about magic. That's for us what it is. But here's the other thing that it bothers me because they made this into a movie. It's been like a long thing with Frosty and all that. We don't do that. You can put that hat on anything. That's what's weird. Like people just think, oh, you just put it on the snowman. The snowman comes to life. You can put it on your mailbox. You can put it on some little, clump of grass and the thing kind of coagulates.
You put that on everything?
Yeah. I put that blank on everything.
That's one of the questions. If you could only eat one condiment for the rest of your life, what would it be? This is an easy one for me.
Yeah, me too.
What?
Andrea's steak sauce.
Oh.
Cha-ching.
I don't think they got paid for that one. What about you?
Well, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna. Oh, this is actually more difficult than I thought it'd be. I'm gonna go barbecue sauce.
Ranch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Salads. You can put ranch on anything and doesn't make it taste worse.
That's actually true. Because I would go barbecue sauce too. Because I actually do eat barbecue sauce on almost everything. It is Andrea's, but I would choose barbecue sauce first.
Did you have another question?
One more from a listener. And this one's a thought provoker, so if you need a second, take a second. But what fictional place would you most like to visit? Now, my first thought when I read this question was, those places the Beatles went in some of the cartoons and stuff that were all psychedelic? I would like to see what that was like, but
mushrooms?
I guess actually it's just going on mushrooms.
I don't.
Yeah,
what?
Probably just taking acid. Never mind. So I'm gonna.
Hard pass.
I'm going to change my answer, and this is a deep cut, though. C.S. Lewis has 3 books called the Space Trilogy, and they are really, really good. They're fiction, obviously. C.S. Lewis's first book in the Space Trilogy, he goes to Mars. The character Ransom goes to Mars, and it is a sinless planet. And
so is this.
The way... Explain.
In the beginning.
Oh, okay. Well, this one, the fall never happened, and the world progressed without sin. And the way he describes it, he's an amazing writer, is just fascinating because it had developed, so it's not like it was primitive, but it was sinless. So that is always that's always intrigued me.
Heaven.
Kind of, but it wasn't heaven in the same way. It was like, this is what it would be like if there was no fall. So
Heaven.
Well, yes, but seems like you can do a little more in heaven.
I'm going. Ethan, do you have a fantasy land you'd like to go to?
You know, I was just I was Googling them because I'm like, what options are even out there? I think that Pandora, where Avatar,
you can do that at Disney World.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You can, can't you?
Yeah. And they do a really good job. You got to go in the evening. Bioluminescence.
Why?
Because the whole thing is lights up and is there to glow green and blue and purple.
I don't think I've ever seen it at night.
It's hard to see Animal Kingdom at night because they traditionally close around 6 or 7. And so you got to go in. Well, you've been there in December. You could probably see it.
Yeah, I don't think we stayed late enough.
I don't think when you were there that they were open late enough. Because I think when you went in the winter, it was
yeah,
COVID
it was
times.
the winter of our discontent.
Are we 5650 or 57?
57.
57. Okay. One last quick question here. Why is cheesecake called cheesecake when it has the consistency of pie? Ryan, answer the question now.
Because we determined as a society that was what we were going to do, and that is what we're going to stick with. Now get off my lawn.
Fair enough. I needed you to do that for about 30 more
Oh,
seconds.
sorry.
I was gonna say, people on not watching the stream right now are very confused.
Yeah, that was a question from Get Off My Lawn.
There's an inside joke here.
We could ask that question every week.
People ask that question. I mean, months, maybe years.
Yes.
And we just always avoid it.
We don't know what to say about it.
We're like, I don't know.
Our answer to the question is we don't know. Our answer to the question is good question.
And now we could move on.
YouTube live chat poll: do you fly an American flag outside of your home? Yes or no? What do you say about that? Go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote. Dirk said yes. I proudly fly the flag of the United States of America, our country. And Dave says, if you fly a United States flag, everyone knows how you'll vote. Trump. Is that true? Let us know on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Be or not the bee? Ryan, when we come back, are you ready?
I couldn't be more ready.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
No particular place to go.
Home values are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
If you've been dragging your feet waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your debt, start an overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call at 314-336-6050. Interest rates have come down and home values are up. I'm here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your first home, your dream home, or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I will give you straightforward answers and develop a plan that fits your goals. My direct number is 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050 or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC 224143 NMLS 250353.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Former President Trump will not be sentenced yet. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A Manhattan judge postponing the sentence in a New York hush money case until after Election Day.
The former president could face up to 4 years in prison after being convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. He was supposed to be sentenced in July, but that was delayed until this month following the Supreme Court's ruling granting presidents immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts. Now Judge Juan Merchan is delaying it yet again to November 26th. He said he wanted to avoid the appearance, however unwarranted, that sentencing has been affected by the upcoming election or would seek to affect the upcoming election, and that he hopes postponing dispels any suggestion that the court would have issued a decision that would give an advantage or disadvantage to any political party.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Judge Merchan also plans to rule after Election Day on the Trump motion to toss out the New York case based on the Supreme Court's immunity ruling. Earlier today, arguments in the Trump appeal of last year's ruling in the E. Jean Carroll case, a jury finding Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation, awarding millions of dollars to the writer who says Trump assaulted her decades ago in a store dressing room. Today, he again denied ever meeting her. The former president also sounding off on border security.
It's turning out that migrant crime is far worse than any crime that we've ever experienced. If you look at Aurora, Colorado, they're taking over the place. They took over buildings, and this is just the beginning. You haven't seen anything yet.
After police in that Denver suburb confirmed 4 shooting suspects are known or suspected members of a Venezuelan prison gang, Immigration and Customs Enforcement telling Fox News all 4 had been caught and released at the Texas border in 2022 and 23. In North Carolina, first in the nation mail-in ballots were supposed to be sent out today, but that's postponed by a judge as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tries to remove his name after suspending his independent campaign and backing Trump. America is listening to Fox News.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It's been a hot afternoon with moderate humidity, and temperatures will drop back into the upper 80s this evening. It's warm overnight, 68 for the low. Maybe a spot thunderstorm towards morning. Friday, a spot early thunderstorm. That's the cool front coming by. Swinging winds to the northwest. Partly sunny and breezy, 81. Friday night, clear, breezy, 55. Saturday, sunny and 74. Sunday, sunny and 77. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I was just talking to Stewie this morning because he's got something great, and it's a limited time. If you're looking for a mortgage refinance right now, if you're looking for a mortgage, he's got an opportunity called the Fed's Fund Special. Now, in the middle of September, the chances of the Fed lowering rates is pretty high, and then the mortgage rates generally follow. He's got an offer for you. If you call 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, and talk to him about your mortgage, you can lock in now, and you'll get the same rates you'd get if they decide to cut those rates later in the month. He's just going to kind of hedge his bets, give you a head start, and then if they don't lower the rates like you thought you were, you still get the benefit of it. So talk to Stewie now and see how this can be a benefit to you. I think that you'll find that he's very trustworthy. He is great at what he does. Myself, I have done a 2-time bagel loan refinance with him, and when you use the bagel loan, you don't pay any closing costs. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the Vega loan, NMLS number 226715.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Celebrate McKelvey Homes' 126th birthday with amazing savings. Get $18,980 off your brand new McKelvey home. But that's not all. You also receive up to $10,000 cash at closing from the Carpenters Union. That's a total savings of up to $28,980. But hurry, these funds are limited and won't last long. Move up to McKelvey. Visit McKelveyhomes.com. That's McKelveyhomes.com. Established in 1898.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
12 amazing children, one special evening. The Night of Rock Stars is September 27th, giving special needs kids a celebrity treatment they'll never forget. Join us for this month's Conservatives Care, The Night of Rock Stars, by visiting 971talk.com/events.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
And you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thank you, Ryan, for that illustrious intro.
You're welcome. It was live.
It's me every time.
The finest work he's ever done for the show, and he wasn't working for the show when he did it.
That's correct. That was for the Dave Glover Show.
Just a really interesting tidbit about that intro. First of all, for people say all the time that they love the intro, that they can recite it. A lot of times they'll say that my kids can recite it, and they talk about their kids being able to sing along with it. Rachel, who was the producer of the Dave Glover Show. She's still on it, but she's no longer the producer of it. She's on as just a personality now, which is cool. She actually was my producer for my Saturday show for like 2 weeks. And then the producer spot opened up on the Dave Glover Show. That's like getting a big league contract, like signing with a big league team, but you're going to like single A. So you're in the game. And then all of a sudden they're like, we need you at the Cardinals.
Yep.
And so she was with me for 2 weeks. She created that intro, left her fingerprints on the show for all of this time. And people love it. And then Ryan Wiggins also worked for the Dave Glover Show. and you made that for Dave.
Yes, I did.
And
Yeah.
then he got canned from that show, and they're like, fine, go be with her.
Yeah. They're like, you like being on in drive time, don't you? Yeah, we're going to put you on middays.
You suggested to the Dave Glover show that they needed an intro?
I did. Yeah, I mean, the setup of the joke was, you know what? A lot of shows have intros. And so I think that you guys should also have an intro that you play every single day
And you made one for them.
going into the Dave Glover show. And they had not heard it. I think Andrew had heard me doing it in a booth. And he's like, I think I know what you're doing, but I'm not sure. So I just played that live, and they said, I think we'll pass.
I was sitting in the office, which is now my office, hearing this develop, and I was like, what is he doing?
Uh-huh.
They're going to think I was involved in this. They had nothing to do
No,
with it.
I didn't even talk to you ahead of time. Now, I
No.
had talked to you.
Like in person.
Yeah, I mean, just
but
like
not about this.
not about that. And the only difference between the version that you hear now and the version that played then is at the very end, it said the Dave Glover Show.
Okay,
that's
I
it.
was about to ask.
That's
'cause
it.
I was a little bit confused.
I changed it so that we could use it here.
The thing of it that's the craziest is it's such a long
It is.
joke.
Once you get into it,
gotta
you're like,
be
okay.
so committed to it.
Right.
It's unbelievable. All right. It's officially, I think, time for Wiggins America.
Yeah, let's
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! The bee or not the bee?
Love it. Fantastic. All right. These are stories that are either satire or they are real. You got to tell me which is which. We call
Which
it the
is
bee or not the bee.
Bee or not the bee.
Because the Babylon Bee is the satire stories. Here you go. First one. German Navy insists there's no deeper message behind warship's decision to blast Imperial March while cruising through London.
Yeah.
Imperial, you know what the Imperial March
Yes.
is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
it the bee, right?
This story is real.
No!
This story is real. Sure, the German Navy blasting the ominous Imperial March from one of their warships.
Shouldn't it be against world law for
As
the
it-
German anything to be able to blast the Imperial March?
Boy, you'd think so.
That's the first false start on Fly to the Bee.
I think it's the first one ever.
Fly to the Bumblebee.
Yeah, Imperial March from one of their warships as it casually sailed down the River Thames in London. Might seem a bit concerning, but don't worry. They assure us Darth Vader's theme song was playing just for fun. The song choice sparked a mix of amusement and confusion across Europe. Germany later clarified that the ship was simply in town for training and a routine supply stop.
For
with-
good, not for evil.
Yeah, and they said, look, the captain of the ship can just play whatever he wants because it's a peaceful mission. He was just goofing off apparently, and everybody had a good laugh.
That's wild.
Isn't
Man,
it?
false start, 5 yards.
I thought that was the perfect one to lead with because the Babylon Bee loves Lord of the Rings and Star Wars jokes.
Yeah.
And that was real.
Yeah.
Next one. Trump prepares for debate against Kamala by going to bar and arguing with drunks.
I saw this one. This is the bee.
Yup.
You've got it. Yes, it's true. I did come up with this great way to practice for Kamala. Trump explained to several staffers. Quote, I don't think she can hold it, honestly. Trump said, some people can't hold it. Very sad. Bad. Not good. I can hold mine.
You know what? I'm not like signed on to the Kamala's a drunk thing.
No, I
don't think, I mean.
somebody found a couple clips of the last 4 or 5 years of her doing her speeches where she just kind of rambles and she was just slurring a little bit and they go, well, she must be drunk. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's not impossible that she could have tied one on before a couple of those press interviews.
I just
but
don't think that it's like I don't think, again, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not necessary to the bottom line. It's speculative. I know people want to joke about that. And I know people, I hear you now. Annie, do you ever hear how they treat Donald Trump? Yes, I do. And I think it sucks when they do that. So my response is not to do the same when there is so much to criticize that isn't speculation on something that's not funny, which is alcoholism.
This is typical internet
Sorry,
stuff.
I'm a buzzkill on that one.
Typical
Nice.
stuff that you see on the internet. Is somebody grabbing a couple things and going, what if? And then sometimes it turns into something.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's just there.
Anyway.
After motorcade involved in fender bender, Tim Walz adds Purple Heart to resume.
This is
The bee.
This is the bee. This
You
has
are
gotta be the bee.
correct. Quote, I, Tim Walz, for my outstanding bravery and courage in the face of suffering.
He gave it to himself. This is his
Slight
first
back
act as
pain. Yeah.
vice presidential
Nominee.
candidate. No.
In the face of suffering slight back pain as a result of rear-ending another person's parked car, do hereby award myself the Purple Medal for Distinguished Valor or something. Walz said, in recognition of my service, I would like to offer myself my sincerest congratulations and best wishes. Science bless America. Communism is the answer. Thank you all. The ending really stuck it there.
I cannot understand the Tim Walz pick.
The further we get into it, the more you're like,
So much downside.
yeah.
The only upside that he's seen, like the only thing that I can honestly think of is that Shapiro was the only other choice and he was Jewish.
That's another one of those internet things that
And Minnesota, they want to shore up.
I can't corroborate it, but there are a lot of people at the time of the pick who were saying, yes, he was not the first choice. That Shapiro might have been the first choice, but there may have been even others who also didn't get it because they said, no, we don't think it's going to be best for us politically. Next one. Vladimir Putin expresses support for Kamala Harris, says her laugh is so fascinating.
Real.
Yeah, I'm going real as well.
You guys are right. This is real. Throwing his support behind Kamala Harris, Putin said to an audience, quote, her laugh is so fascinating. It means that everything is good. For instance.
For Russia.
I don't know. For instance, if I'm speaking about Joe Biden, there are so many sanctions against Russia introduced, and if everything is good with Miss Harris, maybe she will refrain from such measures, or maybe she'll change them. So in the end, it will be the choice of the U.S. people, and we will respect this choice.
Who really wants the Putin endorsement? I mean, if Putin endorses somebody, isn't that really an endorsement for the other person?
I think so.
He knows that.
I mean, I'm not sure that he won't come out next week and do the exact opposite.
Mhm.
You know, you just never, he's playing all kinds of games.
Well, it's
when
like
he
I
does this
said,
stuff.
or I was referencing earlier this week when the news came out. We talked to Hans von Spakovsky about it yesterday, and he gave us a lot of good insight on what the Justice Department was talking about, the Russia interference in this current election, that when it happened in 2016 and there were arrests made or charges made or whatever, that the intention, Russia's intention is to cause us to question our secure republic and to make sure that the more we hate each other, the more we're divided, the weaker we are as a country. And the more that he can sow division and, like I said, confusion and distrust, that's better for Russia. The weaker America is, the better it is for Russia. So if this week he wants to endorse Kamala Harris, but like Ryan's saying, next week he wants to come out and say something flattering to Donald Trump, then he just can pull the strings of all the people who are so emotionally attached to Putin said this. Like, who cares what the dude says? Like, just look at your own personal situation. The decision pretty much makes itself.
And he's doing that here, too, even beyond the Kamala Harris stuff. The last sentence is, it will be the choice of the U.S. people, and we will respect this choice. I mean, even that is a troll. All right, next one. Amazon says error caused Alexa to say, quote, if you vote for Trump, I will kill you in your sleep.
Oh. I know that this is at least based on fact because there were Amazon, Alexa stuff that was saying all positive things about voting for Kamala, but this sounds like the B treatment of that story. So I'm going to say B.
Ethan?
Yep, it's the B.
You are correct. Quote, whoops, our bad, said Amazon spokesman Marcus Gleason to reporters. We may have made a teensy little error in the programming that caused Alexa to threaten to murder Republicans.
Oh,
Super
no.
weird, right? Amazon has apologized for the unfortunate error, saying it was a simple software glitch. I mean, how would Alexa even carry something out like that in their killing people in their sleep? Said Gleason. We haven't even installed the Laser Eyes update yet. That won't be released until November 5th.
What a relief.
Never does the mistake go the other way.
It's surprising, isn't it?
Never, ever, ever are they like, oh, whoops, we were accidentally endorsing Donald Trump, speaking nicely of Donald Trump a little bit too much. And, you know, unbeknownst to us, we were only disparaging Kamala Harris. It never happens.
Yeah.
Have they actually come out and said anything regarding or Alexa saying things about Harris, but not commenting on. Have they actually said anything about that yet?
I think that they've said they've corrected it.
I've heard vague reports that they've
Okay.
addressed it,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
that's about it. Yeah.
I know that it's been addressed in conversations, but we can look that up. You got
Yeah.
one last one before we wrap?
One more. Diversity win. College religion department hires professor who believes in God.
This is unlikely. Real? Just in want?
Ethan?
Ethan?
Yeah. Real.
This is the B.
Oh, man.
Isn't that sad?
stinks. Yes, it
When I
does
read it, you'll go, man, I really hope that does happen, though. According to departmental sources, the decision represents a groundbreaking first for higher education across the nation, as nearly all major university religion departments have been staffed solely by atheists for the last century at least. Quote, we recognize that religion professors who believe in Christianity or who are even theists are majorly underrepresented in today's universities and college, said Anne Marie, like 15 names, at Princeton. We at Princeton are incredibly thrilled to be able to speak truth to power and share this moment as our new professor joins us. We promise to do our best to keep his voice from being marginalized, and we look forward to supporting our underrepresented minority in his scholarship.
I knew it was unlikely.
It's not real.
But I wanted it to be real. Maybe,
Wouldn't that be something?
Maybe someday.
Maybe.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, 8 TV shows we watched as millennials growing up, but we shouldn't let our kids watch today.
Ooh, okay.
You're a TV guy. You might know more of these shows than I do, but we'll have a chat about that. We've talked before about, like, when I let my kids watch The Goonies. In the beginning, I was like, oh, my gosh, what are we doing? This is PG. It didn't feel like it. My kids judged me hard. And we'll see if these TV shows fit that same bill. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
She's been gone since that summer.
It's always neat when stories happen like this, especially when you happen to endorse them on the radio. But I was at a barbecue in Chicago with my brother-in-law last summer, and he was grilling for us, and he was using Andrea's sauce in Chicago. And I thought, oh, that's cool. And I mentioned that I have a particular affinity for that sauce there that you're using, Andrea's sauce. And he said, oh, yeah, I've been using this for quite a while. My butcher says it is the best sauce possible. And I tried it once, and he said, I'll never go back. He had no idea that I endorsed them here in St. Louis. He didn't even know it was made in St. Louis here in Fairview Heights. And so when I told him, he goes, oh my gosh. And guess where we had Christmas last year? At our house. I think it was because my brother-in-law wanted to come and visit where it's made and have dinner at Andrea's Steakhouse. So that is very, very cool. He was blown away by the fact that he could actually visit the spot where his stuff is made. But you can too. Andrea's Steakhouse is a terrific, terrific restaurant. I saw that they just won another Best of award for steaks. They do all the time. So if you've never tried Andrea's Steakhouse, you really need to try it. Next time you're in the grocery store, pick up a bottle of not only their steak sauce, which they are world famous for, but their barbecue sauce and their salad dressing, both of which are excellent. Get all of those too at Andreas.com.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
You're mobile. We're with you on the radio or on the Odyssey app. Download it and take 97.1 with you, even outside the listening area.
Your home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
Change, change, change. 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 Change, change, change of food. For 5 long years, I thought you were my man. But I found out I'm just a link in your chain. Oh, you got me where you want me. I ain't nothing but your fool.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I'm doing a little what would you call this? Interior decorating in here?
That's what I would call that.
Curtains.
Yep.
Not on a window. Just trying to change some things in the studio. If you watch us on the YouTube channel, you might notice that I have a blue background in the back here. I consulted my interior decorating team, which consists of Ryan and Brad.
Yep.
And I was like, I think I'm going to do this. And you guys are both like, go for it.
Well, yeah, we did. And what we said was we think a darker background would look better.
Behind
And
me.
Behind you.
Ethan and Brad, their spot usually has a dark background.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the television behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this white thing and a sign.
And we just had a bunch of stuff up behind you
Mhm.
that I actually do think it looks better.
But
it's phase 1.
The funny part about this is, yeah, it's definitely phase. It might be phase 1/2. Do you see this up here?
Is that mold?
This vent. There's a vent right above my head.
Yeah, that's.
Are you
I'm
wanting the
I'm
vent
still
to be on the
saying,
live stream?
Is it mold?
No.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
We can make that happen.
The vent is covered in dust.
Oh, okay.
Do you see that white spot right there?
Yeah.
That is missing dust. That's where my head hit it yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm like trying to get this all done. And Brad was in here while I was doing this. He was doing his producer stuff. And at one point he's like, right up there where he goes, you have a full circle of dust on your head right now. So
Well, good job clearing that spot. It's nice and clean right there.
It's like it is just in that spot. So I guess I got to rub my head on the rest of that in order to get it.
Yeah, unfortunately
clean.
you do.
So if you want to check out the new background, it's not like super exciting, but it is a little exciting for us. We're going to try to make it look a little nicer in here.
One person, I think they might be in the chat, walked in here and they saw that and they went, holy, and then they said a word we can't air on the radio because they were so impressed by it.
When it was like only finished to where you could see it on the screen and then the rest of it's just hanging down.
Yeah, what's funny is I was on the Mark Cox Morning Show this morning at 8:30.
How did they handle
I was
this?
standing in that spot
Mhm.
where you could see where the edge of the set
Yeah.
stops.
Yeah, I'll
It was
just
like, oh, this looks terrible.
show you over here. There's a little bit of unfinished business. But you got to start somewhere. And I didn't
that's why
wanna-
it's phase 1.
I didn't ask.
Do we know what
Any
the
of the other
upcoming
shows?
Do we know what the upcoming phases are going to be, Ryan, Mr. Interior Designer?
No, we got to establish phase 1 before we can discuss phase 2.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think there should be lights Fun colored lights.
I think
Party
there should
lights?
be. I think there should be like all kinds of food and like a real celebration.
How about garden salsa, sun chips?
I'm not opposed to
Here's my
sun
lunch.
chips, but I'm talking like a full like chicken wing
Spread?
display. Yeah.
Well,
A chicken wing display?
Yeah, display.
Just to look at.
Maybe we.
I'll
could,
eat them, but
maybe we could use the Cardinals broadcast booth as motivation. I know you got to go in there.
Yes,
last
you
month,
allowed
and,
my kids to come in.
And if you remember all the lights and the disco balls that they had in the TV booth.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use that for some motivation.
Well, that's why you're here, Ethan.
Oh.
To bring the
well,
ideas.
that's good to know. I didn't know that. I wasn't informed about this.
All right. Yeah, let us know. We want to make it look nice in here and just kind of spruce it up. So let us know if you like it. Great to know what it looks like behind the scenes on a radio show. 8 TV shows we watched growing up, but totally shouldn't let our kids watch today. This is according to parents.com. How much TV do your kids watch? You're pretty protective of kids' screen time still?
I would say at this point, we let them watch a little more on the weekends than we used to, especially during the school year. But I think we're still at probably about 5 or 6 hours a week screen time.
Do you actually track it? Or
No.
do they track it?
No, we just say, okay, you guys get to go watch something for an hour and a half here. And just based on how many times we do that, I would say it's roughly 5 hours.
Yeah. There's probably more TV time in our house, but it's hard to tell because we're in and out so much.
And some of it's video games. And, my daughter likes to do design games and stuff. So some of it's not TV.
The first one here, I don't know if you guys are going to have watched this, but based on the best-selling book series Gossip Girl. Do you know anything about Gossip Girl?
It was a CW show, wasn't it?
It says Gossip Girl premiered in 2007 and was instantly a must-watch for tweens, teens, and young adults. But this is a tough show to introduce to your Gen Alpha kids, which I think you, Ethan, are Gen Z, and I think Gen Z goes to about kids who were born maybe in 2008 or 2009. My son was born in 2009, and I think that you know how like millennials, it's like where's a millennial, Gen X separate. I think my son, who was born in the end of 2009, goes between Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
It's weird to think that you can have a parent and a kid who are both in the same generation, technically.
Gen Alpha began in 2013.
Gen Alpha is 2013.
Gen Z is 95 to 2012.
To 2012. Okay, well, maybe then I got that confused. The 2012, it's my daughter, my oldest daughter. She was the one who could go back and forth. So they would be the last Gen Zers according to this current moment in time. It says that this is a tough show to introduce your Gen Alpha kids, though today they very likely will know the show's star Blake Lively as one of Taylor Swift's besties.
I didn't even know that, though.
Watching as a parent today, it's a tough pill to swallow, watching a show that glamorizes bullying, blackmail, and backstabbing.
Yikes.
Gosh, that's every movie that I watched.
Yeah.
That's every high school movie.
What are movies about high school about now?
I saw I was just watching this morning, the She's All That scene at the prom where they have like a basically a flash mob that's led by their DJ Usher.
Awesome.
And I watched
just organic.
I think I watched, it was a split screen of the actual video from the movie and then of this like dance studio of people who had learned the dance. And I was like, I want to learn that dance still. I never did. It was a failure. The next one is South Park. How much South Park have you watched in your lifetime?
It's been on so long, I've gone through phases with it where I watched it, not when it was first on, because I think I was still a little young for it actually when it was first on. Then in college and beyond, I'd say there was 4 or 5 years where I was really into it and then stopped, but they're doing movies on Paramount now that are really funny. And I've been watching it again recently.
Do they not kill Kenny in every episode still?
No, that's long gone.
I didn't know that.
Kenny is sometimes actually dead and he doesn't ever come back. At other times you're like, hey, there's Kenny again for no reason.
I remember for me, that started getting quoted around.
Oh my God.
Fifth or
they
sixth.
killed Kenny.
I was in 5th or 6th grade. I had like
you didn't have a Kenny in your class, did you?
12-year-old friends watching this.
Well, this says, this is parents.com. Many of the boys in my daughter's elementary school, are obsessed with South Park, which is crazy to me because I was in college when the show premiered way back in 1997. I would have been in 7th grade. Even in the less PC days of the 90s, moment of silence, And despite being an animated show about fourth graders, South Park was not and still is not for kids. The show mocks every religion, race, and profession. In early seasons, Kenny, one of the main characters, is killed in a violent and grotesque way almost every episode. The truth is, South Park is actually a really smart show. The problem, if you're not in on the joke, especially if you're not mature enough to get the joke, the takeaways can backfire and send a negative message about acceptance and tolerance. It's not for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I would still call and ask my parents if I was allowed to watch South Park.
yeah, because you were at that age too.
I mean, 7th grade, junior high. That's how old my oldest daughter is right now. She has no reason to watch that show right now. And it was like, I grew up in a Christian home, Lutheran schools. We didn't watch The Simpsons. And South Park was like the R-rated version of The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. Beavis and Butthead was in that same category. You can't watch that.
Beverly Hills 90210. Did you watch it at all?
No, not because I couldn't, but I had zero interest. I was a boy.
You were?
I was. I'm a real boy.
Still?
I'm a real boy. I was obsessed with Beverly Hills 90210 from the pilot. This is from the author. And I've recently been watching in tribute to the recent death of the show's star, Shannon Doherty. And yes, watching a show that premiered in 1990 seems innocent enough. Twins Brandon and Brenda Walsh get a massive dose of culture shock when they move from Minnesota to Beverly Hills. I didn't know that was a premise.
I didn't either. That must have been episode 1.
I've learned something about South Park. Kenny doesn't die anymore. Was it just like not nice to kill Kenny?
No, they just got bored with it. They would just kill him in every episode, and they got to the point where the characters were like, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny!" they just don't even care anymore.
Okay. Yet rewatching as a parent, there's many things that are a little tougher to accept. For example, Melrose Place was technically a spinoff of 90210. We were introduced to Melrose Place's mysterious handyman, Jake Hansen, when 90210's Kelly Taylor, a junior in high school, all but throws herself at him while he fixes up her mom's house. So I guess, I mean, it's always kind of strange to me that in this culture and in this world that kids are growing up in and what they're consuming on social media, that we're like, 90210 isn't really morally strong enough to show kids today. I'm like, is this a win or is this?
Yeah, what is this?
Have we quit fighting? I don't know. Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Never. The movie was okay. I never really watched the series much.
Have you seen any of these shows, Ethan, or any of these shows?
So far, I'm over. I mean, I've seen an episode here or there of South Park or a clip of it, but outside of that, no.
I don't know that I've ever watched a whole episode of South Park, but I seriously have, like, I'm not allowed to. I know I'm 40. I am not allowed to, and then when I was old enough to make that decision for myself, I didn't really care to.
I think the thing that disappoints me is that I'm a big fan of Joss Whedon, and that is his signature series, is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I've never watched it.
It says, the show is about a vampire slayer. It says right there in the title. And while this was one of the most popular series of the late 90s, early aughts, each week's storyline unfolded among a bloodbath of intense violence. Show's a toss-up because on one hand, you have an amazing, strong female role model in Buffy, Sarah Michelle Gellar, to introduce to your kids, but on the other hand, there's a lot of death and darkness to get her there. I just don't know why you'd ever be like, kids, gather round.
Yeah. Does it stand the test of time? Has somebody watched this recently and said, yeah, it's still really good?
I didn't watch it the first time. Pretty Little Liars? Never watched it.
I remember the show.
Like Gossip Girl is based on a best-selling book series, so some of the crazy plot points and disturbing reveals shouldn't have been that shocking, but seeing it all play out in a TV series was a little nuts. First of all, the show is about a girl who just vanishes. And while her friends grapple with the loss, they're also bullied by someone named A, who threatens to expose all their secrets if they don't do whatever A wants. Ren and Stimpy.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a Ren and Stimpy guy? Were you a Nickelodeon guy?
Yeah, I was really, but Ren and Stimpy was right on the border where it was like, I think I can watch this. And the older I got, the more it was fine.
What could be so bad about an animated series from the 90s that aired on Nickelodeon and was about a Chihuahua named Ren and a Manx cat named Stimpy? Well, where one could draw a comparison to, say, Tom and Jerry, this pair was definitely meaner, more malicious, and 1,000,000 times more violent. There was a lot of outrage when the show originally aired, yet the show carried on for 5 years. Seems like it was on there longer than that.
Yeah, it does.
I just can't imagine parents feeling good about their kids watching the episode today. Every cartoon, I mean, we didn't really have cable, I don't think, when this was around, or at least not that much cable. It's like, that's the entry-level cable. Was it so violent that it's worth writing about? or mean?
It might be, looking back at it now. They don't really make cartoons like that anymore.
Cartoons are all like violence is what a cartoon generally was, like Looney Tunes and stuff like that.
Well, they made Ren and Stimpy at times really grotesque looking on purpose. It was a little bit like shock jock humor in a cartoon.
Okay.
So,
but wasn't it made for like older?
well, it's weird because most of it was on Nickelodeon, but there was like a handful of episodes that only could air on MTV, and those were the really rare ones.
Rocco's Modern Life.
That's on the list?
Let's
I've
just
never heard
say
of this
for the
one or
3
last
years, 1993 to 1996. Did you watch it?
A little bit.
This animated series aired on Nickelodeon. It got away with a lot of adult humor and sexual innuendos. The show's about an immigrant wallaby named Rocco and all the life dilemmas he goes through. But how many young viewers do you think understood the double entendre of Chokey Chicken, the restaurant they love too frequent?
I didn't get it.
I don't know what I'm saying out loud. It regrets. Or the pilot making reference to one of the most disturbing scenes from the movie Deliverance.
I don't remember any of that.
How much? I mean, at the same time, like, violence in cartoons is entry-level premise.
Yeah.
For basically everything. I mean, Roadrunner,
Yeah,
it's just violence.
all Warner Brothers stuff.
But, like, no, your child shouldn't watch it and throw anvils on their enemies.
Right.
But
right.
if they watch it, the anvil won't actually hurt their enemies.
Well, Rocco's Modern Life wasn't even violent. They just had some adult humor slipped in that was going to go way over kids' heads.
The adult humor thing, you can, like, one of the reasons why cartoon movies are as successful as they are, whether they're made by Disney or DreamWorks or some other studio, is because they serve a purpose for everybody involved. And to be able to involve humor that grabs the attention of all ages in a way that doesn't attack the innocence of the younger viewers is complicated, but pays off. And usually those movies that end up being very successful do serve that purpose. Multi-generational entertainment, because there are layers to what is provided in the movie. The last show that you may have watched when you were younger, but you shouldn't let your kids watch today, Dawson's Creek.
That should be on that list. That show is messed up.
I could not stand the writing in Dawson's Creek. And Joey, what's her face? Tom Cruise's
Pacey?
Katie
Holmes?
Katie Holmes, yes. No, Pacey, I'm fine with Pacey.
Oh, okay.
He was in Mighty Ducks, I think.
Yeah, yep.
No, his writing sucked too in that show. They used like 7-syllable words for everything.
Oh, man.
And like, you're supposed to be watching this show about high schoolers and their angsty life. And I don't think that the people you wanted to get together, Katie or Joey and Dawson, I don't think they ever get together. Maybe they do. I don't know. I never watched it.
I don't know either.
But the show was painful.
It was.
And I could never get into it. But I don't, again, know why you'd ever be like, kids.
Yeah, let's go back and watch that.
Come in here and watch this show.
Man, Gilmore Girls kills me too.
I never watched that either.
Because the dialogue is
It's
so
the same thing.
fast.
And nobody talks like that.
It's impossible. It's like they did the same thing in Dragnet. So I'm not just bashing CW shows from your adolescence.
The show, my kids love Last Man Standing, and I have seen every Last Man Standing episode 72 times. And so I'm like, you guys, watch Home Improvement. It's on Disney Plus. And so they've been watching Home Improvement lately. And it's funny because some of the stuff in there is not PC for today, but it's still funny and it was harmless. Nobody's being hurt in this viewing of Home Improvement. So that's something I have thrown back to them to have them watch. That and Boy Meets World.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I thought they got into some dicier topics in the later seasons, but
Maybe in like the college age ones. But
okay. Just skip the college
I
years.
still trust Mr. Feeney. So those are the ones parents.com says you shouldn't let your kids watch, but I trust you to watch your kids and do what you want with your kids in a respectful way, of course. Let's take a quick break. The YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home? Yes or no? We want to know if you do and what it means to you if you do. Jack says, I fly the American flag at my home in my country hideaway in Franklin County, watching it wave in the breeze as I chat. Do you fly one? Let us know on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll give you the results. We come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
The
Retirement Advisory Group. You can find them online easily at retirementkey.com. Make sure that you check them out for your retirement transitionary period, because when you're in your late 50s, you're in your early 60s, and it's time to make that move, or at least secure the understanding of what your future is going to be. The Retirement Advisor Group specializes for people exactly like you to make sure that transition period is a good one. When you reach out to them at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, you can set up a free sit-down conversation with Bob Kershaw and Tammy Kershaw and Thomas Helbig at the Retirement Advisory Group to find out how you can create your own personalized structured income plan. Don't be worried about losing your next nest egg in the next market correction. Put yourself in the hands of the Retirement Advisory Group, and you can give them that kind of free trial run with a free sit-down, zero obligation at the end of that meeting, just to give you the knowledge that you need to make the smart decision. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
If you're thinking of selling your home, I'm sure there are two things you want: certainty and the most money, right? Hi, it's Mark Cox, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the only agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first and only call when looking for an agent. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. No, she provides written guarantees. Now, what does this mean for you? Certainty. Now, certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Attention, Missouri residents in need of care at home. If you have Medicaid and need assistance with daily activities, you can receive free in-home care from a loved one, funded by Medicaid with no cost to you. Freedom Care, Missouri's #1 home care provider, gives you the power to choose who provides your care, and they get paid instantly. Imagine your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift. Freedom Care has over 5,000 five-star Google reviews and is #1 in Missouri for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's 100% free to you, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-3027. That's 314-557-3027. 314-557-3027.
How many people in the Annie Fry Show audience fly American flags outside of their homes? We're about to find out the results of that question. You can participate in it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube and seeing the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll come up. That is the question. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home? 247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. It was a short week, and now the weekend has arrived. We're going to kick it off with the Reardon Roundtable here at 3 o'clock. Jane is on the panel, State Rep Donna Behringer, the Mayor of Eureka, Sean Flower. We get rolling in just a matter of minutes after Fox News.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. But I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show.
There's nothing I can do. Yeah.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Before we wrap this up and find out how many of you out there in the Annie Fry Show audience fly an American flag outside of your home, I've got, always here to help, Ryan.
Thanks.
I care about you, and I'm here to help you become a better person.
Seems facetious.
Sound like Karen calling in, talking about Kamala Harris. If you didn't hear the first hour, go back and listen to a couple segments where we encourage people to call in, and you could only give a positive endorsement of your candidate. You couldn't say anything negative about the other guy or girl. And if you did, we hung up on you with a buzzer.
It was a pretty good segment.
I thought so. We've done worse.
It was 2 segments, so you need to get the whole first hour.
On the podcast, 8 habits of naturally classy people.
Oh, okay.
That always leave a lasting impression. The number 1 is they know the power of first impressions. What do you think about making a first impression on people?
Nope. You?
Yes.
Do you?
Absolutely.
You know, if it's an important meeting or something, then sure. I'm going to come in. I'm going to be dressed to the nines.
Well, who isn't worth your first impression?
Well, I
thought?
mean, you meet people all the time, and I can't say every time I'm like, oh, I want them to think highly of me.
But you do. You care about that.
You'd be surprised how much I don't think about that, though.
Yeah, I do think about that. I don't necessarily think about that like if I'm walking through like Walmart or something like that. But if I'm meeting people, it makes a difference. First impressions. I think first impressions on this show as an interviewer make a difference. If we ever get a big guest, I will, especially if it's an author. As you guys know, I will read their book the day before. I'll get it on Audible and I'll read it at 3 times the speed in Audible and listen to it so that I can have it read by the time we interview. Do you do first impressions? Do you care about that stuff?
Like you said, I think it depends on the situation. I think that there's probably a natural, just like if you carry yourself a certain way where you're not necessarily concerned about that, because if you go about things a certain way, what I would define as the non-Wiggins way, you're probably not
Shots
really going to be
fired.
concerned about the return you get back.
The advice that is given here is to be genuine, approachable, and authentic.
I'm all those things all the time to all people, near and far.
Number 2, being a master of the art of conversation.
Not being?
No, being one.
Oh.
It is unbelievable. Once you unlock this part of conversation with people, you want people to like you, ask them questions about them, and listen to them talk about themselves. That's the main trick. Be willing to listen and talk about other people. Generally speaking, conversations between 2 individuals is just 2 individuals trading time talking about themselves. And if you shake that game up, it will leave such a lasting impression on the person you're having a conversation with, because people don't have conversations to listen and to learn. They have conversations to speak and tell.
Yeah. I ask a lot of questions. Did you notice my power tie? Things like that.
Where is it?
Well, I'm not wearing one today. Okay. But in those important meetings that we're talking about, I walk in, first question I ask.
When was the last time you wore a tie? A, when was the last time you wore a tie? B, when was the last time you wore a tie to a meeting?
I walk in and I see the person behind the desk. I'm like, no, don't even stand up. I got you covered, brother. And then I reach my hand across the desk and I just shake their hand as hard as I can. I'm like, that's a good firm handshake, isn't it? Look at my power tie. What do you think about that?
Are you 75? Good grief.
A couple of days ago, you brought up the impact that wearing your black shirt has on people.
Where's the black shirt?
Would you argue
is dirty?
Would you
I look for it?
Would you argue that the black shirt tends to have that effect of where your lack of concern with what people think comes from?
I don't know what that question means, but the shirt
does the black shirt have an impact?
Yeah, on young women.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't add to it doesn't add into your, I don't care about how this first interaction goes, though.
No, because I still don't care. That's what's so great about getting noticed by hot people, is that you're like, I didn't even try. This is crazy, but they're still noticing me and pointing and their jaws all slacked. Oh, whoa. You know, that kind of stuff.
It was almost a third Sprockets reference.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Jeez.
Number 3, they practice kindness always.
That's great for them.
Kindness is one of those qualities that's often underestimated, but I'll let you in a little secret. It's one of the most powerful traits a person can possess. Can't you tell when you meet somebody and there is an air of kindness about them? That really shows. You don't have to say things particularly, but you can just tell when somebody is. It's more of a selfless thing, I think. And it kind of goes back to talking about letting other people talk about themselves or asking questions that shows interest in another person instead of, oh, it's so nice for you to meet me, which is what often ends up happening. Number 4, they're always punctual.
What's the list again? Like, what's the overarching?
What are we talking about?
We are halfway through it.
Habits of people who are naturally classy.
Naturally classy. Okay. Because sometimes we do successful.
This is so foreign to you, you don't even recognize it.
No, it's just, it's natural, to use your words, the article's words. What was the one we just read? The bullet point?
Punctual.
Punctual. Yeah. Well, you know.
I wish it were attentive. But
we
here are.
We got to be right on time all the time here on the Andy Fry Show. So I would say we're pretty classy in that sense.
How important is being punctual to you, Ethan? Being on time. What is on time for you?
Something I'm still working on, I should say.
Room for improvement?
Yeah, room for improvement. Recognition that it's important, but want to continue being better at it.
You're kind of casual about it.
You know what would fix punctuality for almost everybody?
Time travel.
Teleportation. Yes. We were very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, teleportation, because then you wouldn't have to worry about the roads.
The amount of time.
Just get in your little chamber.
Pollution.
You hit the button, the blue goo rises up, you just disappear.
You might just evaporate.
Have you heard?
Solve some other problems.
I've seen on Twitter a recent trend of people wanting to have basically an excuse in new jobs, and I guess what would be considered my generation, where they basically don't want to take responsibility for being late, and saying it's a condition that they have that they can't be on time.
I think that there is a COVID thing that exists for people who are in your generation where everything has just kind of become more flexible. I think in time it'll get tightened up a little bit when those people who are on other people's time then become the person who's managing the time, and the next group of people is not on time, then that starts to shift. Let's see. 5 is, we don't have much time left here. They're excellent at maintaining boundaries. Yes, I like.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be too close to you. Do you stand too close to people?
No, not at all.
Don't
in fact,
stand
the
too
only
close to me.
rallies I went to in 2020 were ones where I could sit in a folding chair surrounded by a circle and nobody can come in the
Big
circle.
Biden guy.
Yep.
Okay. Number 6, they're comfortable in their own skin.
Me.
Definition of classy, Ryan Wiggins.
There you go. And number 7, they value quality over quantity.
Ooh.
I am very in on that at this age of my life.
If you set 2 bags of gummy bears down in front of me, and one of them was 0.4 ounces or something, but it was really good Albanese ones, or
the show is over.
You set down.
This is not
a
how we end the
5-pound
show.
bag.
I have
I'm
to
taking
talk
the
about
5
the poll.
pounds.
The last one is they're consistently respectful.
Cool.
Little work could be done there.
You're still running out of time.
The YouTube live chat poll: do you fly?
Punctuality is one of them.
And shush. Do you fly an American flag outside of your home, Ryan? Do you?
I used to, but
That's
I
a no.
respected the
Ethan,
flag too
do you?
much in the rain
My
and stuff.
parents do, yes.
You do? I do as well. 79% of you guys, almost 300 votes, said that you do fly an American flag outside your home. Thank you to everybody who called in today, listening today. Check the podcast and keep it here. Mark Reardon, next.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
McKelvey Homes is celebrating 126 years with big savings for you. McKelvey Homes, found at McKelveyHomes.com, was established in 1898. Get $18,980 off your new home, plus up to $10,000 cash at